Yo, everybody, what's good? It's the newest episode of Geeked Out, episode 3, motherfuckers. Yo, how you guys doing?
I'm doing good. Zeke?
I'm alright, man. Chilling out here, man. It's just fun.
So today is very, very special because it's Gamecube Appreciation Day, man. Like, we are finally going to the one console besides the Wii U that is often underlooked and underrated. We're going to actually give it its due praise because it's one of the best consoles of all time. And me, Maroof, and Jay are going to go hard on it. And Zeke's going to watch. There we go.
If you can see it in my bad lighting, here you go.
Look at that beauty. So
bad lighting, but yeah.
Hold on. To be fair, I may not know much about GameCube, but I did enjoy what little that I played, man. But I'm excited to hear what you guys say today.
Yeah, so, it's gonna be very exciting to cause I know Zeke and this is mentality. When we start talking about it, this dude's gonna go on eBay. He's gonna be like, I'm picking one up. I'm gonna get one. I don't care.
You know me, man. If I like it, I'm getting it.
He's getting that shit. So, but just to introduce, you already know my name's Josh, or Remy represent Noshigandi. That's Zeke right there, my man from All in Due Time, and that's Maroof. And we're introducing our special guest, Jay. And Maroof, you can take it away and just let us, tell us more about our new guest.
So here we have one half of the YouTube channel, BigSharkGaming. They do a lot of gaming videos and other stuff. Here is Jay Aaron. Jay?
Hello. That's me.
Yeah.
So, Big Shark Gaming, we've actually grown a little bit past just YouTube. That's still what we do mostly, but we also are now on Twitter and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So nice. Check us out there. So inclined.
No, that's dope, though. I'm glad that you guys are doing your thing. It's inspiring because we're just starting out, but we want to build our stuff too. So it's great to do collaborations with people that are just as passionate. You know what I mean?
On that topic, for someone who's starting out, I will say your production value is through the roof.
Yo, thank you, man.
That's all, Josh. That's all.
I've been working, man. I've been trying to build this bullshit from the ground with these two hands.
These two hands. He doesn't use
the effort is super clear, man.
Yeah, we gotta just keep working with it. But
actually, when he edits, he doesn't use any tools. He uses his bare hands.
Yeah.
Basically, chops the computer in half to chop.
I use Play-Doh. That's how I edit.
You gotta remodel everything.
Oh my god.
In fact, this entire video claymation.
Claymation, yeah. This is all fucking.
We're not real. None of us are real. We're all
none of us are real.
Even our voices.
Yeah. I do the acting too. It's, it is what it is. It's like The Simpsons.
Do all the voices.
Yo, it's like fucking South Park.
Yo, what's your secret? How do you always talk at the same time? How do you do that?
It's ventriloquism, don't you know?
See?
Amazing.
Okay, but let's get to business because we're here to talk about one little lunchbox that changed our lives as we were kids. We're talking about the Nintendo GameCube. And first thing I want to ask you guys is just simple. Is when did you get your GameCube? Because I kind of got mine around 2006. I was pretty late with my GameCube. And the first game that I got on it was Smash Brothers. I got the silver GameCube.
Oh, we can let our
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure we got at launch. Because I know we had the Wii Mansion, and it was the one game I had for a long time.
What about you, Maroof?
So for me, I also don't remember because I was fairly young.
Yeah.
I want to say it was 06 or 07, maybe earlier, maybe 05. But I remember the first two games we got were Mario Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion. And those are the games that I played a lot. So.
Those are very solid games, you know what I mean? And just something that I want to say about the GameCube real quick before we start going into different games and stuff.
Wait, what about Zeke? You skipped over Zeke.
Oh yeah, Zeke never bought it. Wait, did you?
I never owned one, but my neighbor, I played with my neighbor a lot.
Zeke, you could buy it in 2020.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saving up for a Switch, bro. To be honest, I'm trying to get the Switch Pro.
I said we need to get Virtual Console on Switch. Virtual Console was this thing that was on the 3DS. It was on the Wii, the Wii U, where you could play old systems on your new console.
Older games over to the newer consoles.
Exactly.
So it was an emulator, basically, right?
Yeah, basically an emulator, but
an official emulator.
And you have to buy it. You have to buy it.
And you had to buy it, of course. Yes.
Yeah. Every game was like, you can't. They're not gonna just let you have like one little emulator and get everything. You got to pay every game piecemeal. But
I mean, I'm okay with that because then what you're getting is quality.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because Nintendo, when they do like emulate something, they really do try to preserve what it really is. It's not like there's all these little graphical glitches and stuff like when you play with a normal emulator.
They know that their fans want these games to look a certain way.
I definitely want to have a conversation like near the end where we just talk about Mario 3D All Stars and just like all of that shit because I'm excited. I definitely want to get that game.
Something that I think we'll end up talking about at some point anyway because of Sunshine.
Yeah, exactly. So we definitely do. But so from that point, what we were talking about was when we got the GameCube and stuff, and you said that you've been playing with your friends and stuff like that, so you kind of have like a casual view of it. You've been getting it since day one, Jay, and you and me, Maroof, are the same. We kind of got it around like 2005, 2006. So yeah, like that's a good range of us telling our stories from it. So let's just start with like release order and just go on like some of the more memorable games. So let's talk about Luigi's Mansion because that was the first game that I think that people really
that was a launch title.
Yep.
And people were like, "What the hell is this? This is Mario."
That's what I love about the GameCube.
I vividly remember being like 8 years old and being confused why I couldn't jump in a Mario game.
Yeah, right. Like just the first time you play it, you get confused. You're just like, man, you can't do the normal shit that you would do in a Mario game. But then again, you have to realize, like later on, we realize it's a whole different series.
Right. Well, you have to remember at the time, that was the only game. There were no other Luigi Mansion games. So.
There weren't any other Luigi games.
It just felt extra strange.
You know what I mean?
There was Mario Time Machine.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Besides that, there was no like actual game with Luigi in the title.
I know what you're talking about.
Can you guys explain to me the difference between Luigi and like the regular Mario games?
So
like,
Luigi Mansion is a completely different game.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Jay. You're the guest. You're good. Hello, Jay.
Oh yeah, Jay. Yeah.
You know how like normal Mario games like platformers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Luigi's Mansion tries to get a feel to the Resident Evil. If that makes any sense.
It's a goofy Resident Evil.
Goofy Resident Evil? Is it like
it's funny.
It's more.
It's not
it's
a
more
platformer
like a
game at all.
game.
You're in this.
It's more like a puzzle adventure.
It's kind of like a Castlevania, sort of. Or, I guess Resident Evil would be the best example. You're in this large area. You explore the mansion room by room, solving puzzles, and ghosts, stuff like that. And as you progress, you got keys to other rooms, and the whole thing just opens up until you reach the final objective.
Okay.
Which in the original game was finding Mario in the basement.
Mario and who? Alright.
Oh, he
Mario
said
in the basement.
Yeah, Mario was in the basement.
Oh, Mario's in the basement. Okay, I thought I heard something.
But it's not. But what was cool about that game is it's just I feel it had so much atmosphere, and I think that's going to be a running theme when we keep going throughout the games. It was something that was different. It felt a little bit darker, like compared to most Mario games, or even like the later Luigi Mansion, like with Dark Moon, or like Luigi's Mansion 3, which is still a great game, I hear. But that game in particular just had a dark feeling to it, even though it was creepy.
Yeah.
Right. That was kind of the intention. And I don't know if you're aware, but Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3 were made by different teams. So
yeah. I know one of them was from Next Level Games.
They're both Next Level Games.
Yeah, Next Level Games made both of them.
Wow, they stepped up for 3.
Whereas I believe the original one was made by in-house Nintendo.
Yeah, R&D something, I forgot the name. That's like the original Nintendo team that made the original Mario team and Zelda team.
Man, what is it with these companies going in-game?
They're also the ones that make the systems themselves, if I recall.
Yeah, like Nintendo's like a big company, but then it's like split into different sections. Just explain that to Zeke. So you have like R&D, you have like the intelligent systems. There's different types of things inside.
It's like Microsoft buying like a bunch of other small companies, and now they're like, absorbing it with their.
Like, didn't they buy Bungie or no? Or am I?
Yeah, I think they bought Bungie. I think they bought Rare. No, I know for a fact they bought Rare.
Yeah, they bought Rare.
Yeah, they bought Rare. That was a major thing.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit. I still don't forgive them for buying Rare. That's bullshit. We could have Banjo-Kazooie 3 on the GameCube like it's supposed to be. Bullshit. Anyway. Man. But going back, though, when it comes to Luigi's Mansion, another thing that I really like about it is just, like, the poltergeist. You know what I mean? I think that it's so unique. It's so different. Like, the fact that you are using an actual, like, vacuum and sucking up ghosts and things like that. It's like, what other game could you really do that with?
Ghostbusters for the NES.
Oh,
so for Zeke, for the purpose of explaining to Zeke, in the game you attack by sucking up ghosts with a vacuum. So essentially, it's Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
so I've seen the game before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of on some Ghostbusters.
GameCube game, but you know, I just want to at least like edge to like the more well-known, I guess.
Yeah.
So the next title I think would be Mario Sunshine.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Because like with Luigi's Mansion, it was so different because it's like Luigi, he's never been like in a mansion before. He was never in that like.
He's never really been in a star role before.
And he was never even in a star role before. So it's like you have all these new things about the character, and it's like that's so interesting. Like they decided, okay, this is the direction we want to take it. And to be honest, that's really how Luigi is known now. Even in Smash, like he still has the poltergeist with him and stuff like that. Like that's his signature style and everything.
Right. That's like his portrayal now. It's a huge character.
Exactly. And I feel like with Mario Sunshine, it didn't necessarily become the portrayal of Mario in the future, but I feel like it's something that the people who played that game hold very near and dear to their hearts. Like it's something that's completely different, and I feel like we're never going to get a Mario game quite like that again.
I mean, it was my first Mario game that I played 3D, and I finished myself. So it has a place.
That was your first one? Wow.
So when I finished, like the first 3D Mario game, I finished myself. So there's definitely a place for it.
Yeah. Finished myself is the same for me.
Yeah. No, that was late. I finished that way later. Like I like played it in the beginning, and then I played Galaxy, and then I came back and I finished Sunshine like that.
I don't remember my first Mario game, to be honest. It's just I played so many, I don't even recall the title I played.
I feel you. It's like there's a lot of them.
He's universal. Mario.
Yeah.
The Italian man with the mustache. That we don't know if he's from Brooklyn or Mushroom Kingdom. You have to decide.
He's from Brooklyn, bro. 100%. There's no way he's not from Brooklyn. You joking?
He's from Brooklyn.
But
I want to stick to the Mario theme for now, just because we could get through a couple later. But I have a list of GameCube games right now up, and there's just so many Mario games.
Mario Party.
But just to finish off like our thoughts on Sunshine, I want to say that Sunshine's really interesting for like two reasons for me. One, because it's like you have the flood, which again is another thing like that's pretty interesting. Like how like Poltergeist was for Mario for Luigi's Mansion, like that is for Mario Sunshine. It's like there is this one tool, but that tool completely changes the gameplay whatsoever. And it's like, when people first saw that, we have to also admit the backlash. People were like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? Like, people had 64, and they had, like, a whole expectation that they were going to get, like, like the next level 64, and the game was all centered around this flood. But personally, I feel like it still was a great platforming game, and it definitely had moments where they didn't have the flood, where you could just kind of be on that 64 shit with platforming, but they added something completely different. So I like that a lot. And I also feel like
atmosphere is amazing.
Yeah, atmosphere is amazing. It makes you feel like it's like summertime. Every time you play, it makes you feel like you're back in like 2002 in summertime. And last thing I want to say really is the story of it. It's like I feel like out of every Mario game, it probably has the most story. Like you can argue Galaxy, but Galaxy is like you Galaxy, you have to look at the storybook though. If you completely ignore the storybook, it's not as much story as in with in Sunshine.
Yeah.
Sunshine had like fully active voice scenes, like fucking Bowser had a voice and shit.
For better
that we never got again for good reason.
Bowser got a voice.
First appearance of Bowser Jr. First appearance is Shadow Mario. So it's a lot of big things happen in that game.
First appearance of Toad too, I believe.
Nah, you mean Toadsworth? Toadsworth. Yeah, Toad was in the original.
The brown.
Right? Yeah, Toadsworth.
I just want to say, like, the fact that one of the unlockables in that game is literally just a summertime shirt and sunglasses kind of gives you the good aesthetic of. Like, literally, I think it's if you get all the sign sprites, you get and the glasses for Mario. It's ridiculous.
And that shit literally like tints, like it's like a tint on the whole screen.
Yeah, it like darkens the whole screen.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I just bought the game. Thanks a lot.
You gotta get that game, especially during the winter. It makes you feel like you're in summer, bro. Like, and like I said, since you're gonna get a Switch, it's about to be on the Switch with Mario 3D All Stars, which is a combination of
like next week.
Yeah,
it's literally coming out next week.
I can't wait. I'm going to replay the shit out of that game. So anyway, more Mario games.
Yeah, so I'm gonna run through the list of Mario games that are on here, and then we can when I'm done with it, then we could just talk about each one, I guess, or like whichever one that comes to mind. So, Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix.
Oh, I have that shit. Why?
I never. Yo, if
Mario
you don't
Golf. Look at Mario Golf Old School Tour. Mario Kart
here. That shit is, dude, that shit is so much money on eBay. The shit is like for like $130 if you want to sell it.
I wouldn't sell it.
Wow. I'm tempted, but
don't
it's like
sell it, nigga.
It looks it's a classic, bro.
It's
a collectible.
Mario Kart Double Dash, which is iconic, which is one of the best Mario Kart. Mario Kart
like the best one.
You guys you guys prefer it to 8 though? 8 was my shit, man. 8's so good.
That's hard. I think I prefer Double Dash a little more just because of nostalgia.
Yeah, that's what I feel it is, because like 8 is...
Yeah.
But anyway.
Mario Party 4 through 7. There was freaking 4 Mario Parties on this thing.
Yeah, damn.
Spectacular. Mario Power Tennis.
They were like once a year.
Yeah, once a year, I think.
Once a year.
It was like an annual event for Mario Party. Like his birthday.
Yeah, it's like he's having a party every year. He has more parties than Zeke.
Yeah, for real.
Speaking of which, all in due time shirt. Hit Zeke up if you want.
Yeah, no, that's a dope ass shirt.
I give you a nice price. Don't worry about it. If I like you.
If you put the coupon code Geeked Out, then you can get it for 15% off.
If you go to supply.com at BigSharkGaming, find that link no longer works.
You suck my dick, it's sweet now. Alright, cut that one out.
Oh my god. Where was I?
No, I'm definitely keeping that.
Mario Power Tennis, Mario Superstar Baseball.
Oh, I have baseball right here. Baseball was a good game.
Yeah.
I never had tennis though.
Paper Mario Out Your Door, the greatest Paper Mario.
Bro, yup, that's unquestionable the greatest one.
Mario Strikers, which is great.
I love the aesthetic of that shit. That if you're talking about aesthetic and atmosphere, Strikers just was
so
like
different.
We'll never get a game like that.
It's so not Mario. It's amazing.
Exactly. It's like it's so like edgy, but in a cool way. Like not like in a Shadow of the Hedgehog kind of
Zeke, if you want to play a good soccer game that's not FIFA, Mario Strikers.
Definitely. Yeah, get that shit.
That's
the one on Wii. It's a little bit
Strikers for a second.
Yeah.
But I'll check it out. You said Mario Strikers?
Yeah, Super Mario Strikers.
Super Mario Strikers.
I would recommend Strikers Charge, the sequel.
Oh, I have to play Charge. I have to play Charge.
It's good. So that was the last one.
Everything you like about Strikers and stuff.
Yeah, dude. Now you sold me. I might have to go on eBay too and got that one because that Strikers was a really good game, man. That was a really good game.
Yeah, I might get that too.
So those were all the Mario games?
Yeah, I was expecting more, but I guess not.
That's interesting. It. Wow, wasn't that? I felt like there was gonna be more. But yeah,
I think Mario Party kind of like skewed everything, having 4 of it on the one console.
Yeah, I think back in the day when we saw, like, we were at Blockbuster Video or in Hollywood Video or whatever, and you saw like all the Mario parties, you felt like there was like a million Mario games and shit. So it wasn't too many, but I think you had a good selection of Mario games. I think like the RPGs were at it.
There was definitely a ton of variety there.
Yeah, the RPGs were at its peak with Paper Mario, which, like, as we say, everybody wants them to go back to it. And like with me personally, if we really want to go into 1,000 Year Door talk, because that's, I think, a milestone GameCube game that everyone like really thinks about. I feel like it took what the original Paper Mario did, and it completely expanded it. Expanded the world, it expanded like the battle system, everything about it. Like it made almost the first game. Like the first game's great, but it made it to a point where it's like, okay, you don't even need this one because this one takes it to another level. And I feel like ever since then, they realized they can't really top that. And I mean, they can. If they really wanted to, I feel like they could top 1,000 Year Door. But it's like I feel like
that's why like the later Marios are like completely different, not even.
Exactly, because I feel like they don't.
An RPG at this point.
I feel like they don't want to take it to that next level of being 2,000 Year Door, because it was almost for everyone who played it, the majority of people think it's like almost a perfect game for Super Mario. So it's like they had it kind of going a different direction, but now people are saying they're going way too left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Origami King was like the humor was there from what I hear, but apparently like the developers weren't allowed to expand. Like Nintendo told them don't expand on characters, which I don't understand.
From a game perspective, you don't really notice it for this time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
even allowed to give characters names. So
Miyamoto has some weird rules sometimes. Like he's a legend.
Miyamoto's a strange person.
But
he is a very weird person.
Weird fucking rules and stuff. Like he was just like no NPCs. Like you can't make original NPCs for Paper Mario. We're just gonna use like the characters that we already have. And I'm just like, but everyone liked the original NPCs back in the day.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. Same thing with Galaxy 2.
But like, at the same time, rule is kind of broken because there are plenty of characters. They just don't have names.
Yeah, they just don't want them to have like unique names in like the lore. But like, you know, Bobby and stuff like that was from that game. I definitely haven't played it, but I watched some video of it, and it's funny enough.
And every calls him Bob, even characters in name.
Exactly.
That's the only way they could go away.
So it's like
giving
he's a name.
But I just love the fact that, like, just going back to Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door, it was such a robust RPG. Like, you got a full RPG experience. And for a lot of us, it might have been, like, our first or second RPG. With me, it was, like, maybe my second RPG I played, because I played Pokemon first. But some people don't even really consider Pokemon, like, RPG. RPG is almost its own thing. So it's like, I think that was one of, it is, but, like, you know, but certain people, it's like, Pokemon got its own shit. You know what I'm saying? It's its own kind of thing. But it's like, but that is more like a traditional kind of RPG. And I felt like it was like completely different, but I think it was so easy for somebody who never played RPGs just to get into it. Like it had a high ceiling, but it had a low floor. It was a great game for me.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. For me, I have a. Sorry, what'd you say, Jay? Jay, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I said it's a great entry for people who don't really know about RPGs, because at the end of the day, you at least have recognition. You know, you say Mario.
Yeah,
exactly.
What I want to talk about on here real quick is that it's one of the games as a kid that I like adored without ever playing it until I was older. I got a GameCube, like I said, around 0506, and I always knew about 1,000 Year Door, and I always wanted it, but I don't think I actually played it until like 2010. And I fell in love with the game. Yeah, its story is fantastic, its characters are amazing, and it's just a good RPG in general, not just, you know...
I was the same way. I didn't get until significantly later, but to be totally honest, I know I'm gonna get a little bit of backlash, but I thought it was just okay.
That's fair. Everyone,
you thought that...
people like the original Paper Mario better, honestly.
What it's definitely like we really need to actually do hot takes, because that's what gets people going.
Like at that time, I was playing other RPGs like in Quest, Final Fantasy, stuff like that, and those are definitely a lot more large in scope, I guess, for lack of a better word. And I felt like sometimes Year Door played it too safe.
Yeah, no, I see. Because the thing about it is, I think it depends on where you were. Like with me, I never played an RPG before. So now when I played that game for the first time, it was like, bam, like that was like a whole new world. And then when I went into like things like,
absolutely,
like, yeah, exactly. Then I went into things like Final Fantasy. It felt like, you know, that's the next step up. You know what I mean? But I could see somebody who's been playing all these RPGs and then going to something like Thousand Year Door and being like, yeah, this is good. But it's a little, you know, it's a little basic. It's not something too crazy. But how do you feel about how the series progressed after GameCube?
Honestly, I like it. I like the styles. Secret Star had an interesting idea, but the execution was flawed. Super was wonderful. I can't say anything bad.
Oh, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
I love Super. They did so many unique ideas. Like, that's this interesting ass game.
Color Splash did a good job trying to address issues Sticker Star had, and Origin King is very good and to play.
Yeah, that's a pretty good summary. I kind of agree with like mostly everything that he said. You know what I'm saying? Like Sticker Star wasn't the worst game I ever played. Like some people act like it's the worst game ever. Shout out to Arlo if you're watching.
let me say a question.
For Mario, but again, the idea was solid.
I feel like the idea was okay.
It was a good idea, it's just they didn't take it the way they needed.
Yeah. Zeke, you said something in the middle of all that?
Yeah, I was gonna ask a question. Since we're talking about Mario games, all these Mario games you guys brought up, which one's like your favorite so far?
Out of the ones that we just listed,
actually out of the games, because I don't know if they were all Mario games or not.
Yeah, we've just been talking about Mario so far. Fuck, that's hard between Sunshine and Thousand Year Door. I guess I'll go with Sunshine. Sunshine is an amazing game.
Why Sunshine?
I just like it's really like as those two said, like it's the atmosphere. It's like it makes you feel like you're like in a sun, like in summer vacation and everything at a plaza, and it's like you feel good when you play it. It's one of the the happiest games I've ever played. It just makes you feel good. And one thing that we have to talk about, because it's GameCube, we gotta talk about the water effect. Because goddamn,
the GameCube
still has great water effect. To this day.
I got Dolphin on my fucking iPad, and I like upscaled all my shit now. And the water on that shit, I feel like I can put my hand through my iPad and feel that water. It's that good.
So good. It's so good. For me, it was probably also Sunshine. I think Luigi's Mansion is a close second just because of my love for that series. And the aesthetic of the Ghost Mansion. Jay, what about you?
That Luigi's Mansion, because I am a runner, and I'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, so I want to move on from Mario, because I think we talked a lot about Mario.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So the next game I want to talk about is this baby right here. If you can see from my shitty lighting, Wind Waker.
My baby. Where is he?
My baby. So Wind Waker was such a unique game when it first came out. It wasn't what people wanted, and it got so much backlash.
Let's talk about Space World. Let's talk about Space World, and when they fucking announced it, and everyone thought it was gonna be some really dark.
Ocarina 2.
Yeah, Ocarina 2. And eventually, when we did get that, which we're gonna go into Twilight, because in the end of the day, Twilight Princess is still a GameCube game. In my opinion, that's a GameCube game. So we'll go into that later, because that's a proof that just it came out on GameCube and Wii. But that's proof that because you want something, doesn't it?
Yo, wait, hold on. Before we continue, I looked away for 2 seconds. Where the fuck did that dog come from?
It was right there.
It was right there. It's cute though. I love it.
Nah, dude. This is.
It's right on my face.
That's dope too. I would love that in my room.
That's
I would love that.
God dang.
Yeah.
Like I don't already have enough Zelda shit, and I still want more. That looks so good.
Is that like a night lamp or something? Or just like a light?
Yeah, it's a lamp, I think.
A little light.
It's a lamp.
I got you.
But going back, it was like, you know, we all saw that trailer, and the majority of us were like, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, no, we're all hyped for, like, Ocarina 2 or whatever. And then when we saw, like, this guy come up, everybody was like, what the fuck? Like, this is like a cheap version of Zelda. It's cute. And I think this is really what made like GameCube, because we have to talk about this too. GameCube at that moment of time is when games were kind of shifting. Like one of the biggest games during that era was Grand Theft Auto. You know what I'm saying? And people were kind of shifting into this open world, dark, gritty, like games that Zeke likes. I'm like,
yeah, it's the games I play. So.
And people were looking at this. Like people were looking at Zelda, like, you know, that's their one chance of getting like a really like dark.
Why is it so colorful?
Fit. And now they just had this colorful shit on
There's
a fucking a purple lunchbox. People were bashing the shit out this game, bashing it. But lo and behold, in 2020, what is one of the best looking Zelda games?
It's one of the best. It's one of like the best reviewed games there is.
One of the best reviewed games, and also just in general, because every Zelda is reviewed pretty great, but it just it looks so phenomenal. 20 years later, without even I'm not even talking about the
Wind Waker
HD.
Wind Waker HD, the graphics are so beautiful.
Exactly, but even if you upscale the original, it still looks great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
You know what I mean? And it's mainly because they chose this art style. This art style is timeless. So something about that is cool.
Those cartoonier art styles just age better. Period.
Exactly, and also with the expressions on this, like I feel like they did such a good job on with like because I'm totally slipping right now, but like the hero of the wind, I guess, right? That's what they call him for this one. Like the hero of the wind, I feel is one of the most expressive links out of all the links that we've gotten. And Zeke, just if you're confused, like every Zelda, like some Zelda games are like sequels, but every Zelda game is like a different link and
it's reincarnation. It's reincarnation.
Like, reincarnated. And this guy right here is very expressive. He's very down to earth. He's just a boy that wants to get his sister back. And he gets caught up in his whole fucking adventure, and it's a great, such a great.
He has personality, which a lot of the links don't have.
Exactly. It's such a great like coming to age story.
So expressive.
Zeke, you have a question?
Only Zelda I've ever played was Ocarina of Time, and I didn't even beat that one.
Everybody loves it.
That's a question.
I think I got up to the water temple, and I just.
Oh God, the water.
I gave up.
That's a question, not a question. That's a statement. Sit down.
Oh, so wait, what's it called? But you said you got stuck on the water temple. You should play the 3DS version because it makes it a lot easier when it comes to water.
It addresses a lot of problems with a lot of that game.
Yeah.
So anybody has anything more to add about Wind Waker?
It's just so iconic for me, just because I never played it as a kid.
It's Wind Waker. What can you really say about it?
It's Wind Waker.
That's
true. The fact that people complained about the too much water thing at first, and then like now, you know, the HD version fixed a lot of that, but whatever. It was still a great game back then, and so if you go back and play, it's a great game today.
Also, like,
you just swim backwards.
For a game that looks this cute, it actually does have like a lot of mature themes and shit like that. Like with like Ganondorf, I felt like
you stabbed Ganondorf in the fucking head.
Exactly, but and the way
your grandma dies.
Your grandma dies in the game. Your grandma dies.
Like, it has some dark moments. Like, don't get this shit
wrong.
Your
baby sister gets abducted by a fucking giant bird.
Let me talk about the opening for a second. So, as Maroof touched on, your sister gets kidnapped. You have to go out and save her. Link does not want to leave the island. He wants to chill at home. And his grandma's like, I knew one day you would be. So I made this for you. And it's like this special soup, and it's like the best healing item in the game.
Be like,
I get it like 2 minutes in.
And like this, the music that plays when like she's crying and she's like, "Yo, get
and
back."
Like watching Link leave, like all sad.
Yeah. And then Tetra's a fucking asshole, just like, "Yo, what you crying about? Like, shut up, pussy."
Tetra is one of the best novels.
That's also, that's another thing. That's another point. I really do think it was just such an interesting way of like having Tetra, because we already had Sheik from what's it called, Ocarina of Time, which was interesting. But I think that Tetra was another way of doing that concept, but in a unique way.
I honestly think there was a better way because you're with for so much longer.
Yeah, that's very true.
Also, I think because technically, for me personally, because you're a pirate technically in that game, I really liked it because of One Piece. So. Yeah. That's kind of skewed my opinion.
She kind of shows up and then leaves. and then you go a little bit, and then he's there again, and then he leaves. Tetra, you're with the whole game.
Exactly. Yeah. So you feel more connected to Tetra as a character, which that's definitely understandable. And and like I said, I think Ganondorf was done very, very well in that game too. And even though for everything from the way he dies,
that's my favorite version of Ganon.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so evil in that game. He's like human evil, which we don't get a lot from Ganondorf. Like, he's just methodically thinking and planning, and then the way he dies of getting stabbed in the head with the Master Sword is one of the coolest deaths in any Zelda.
I totally agree. Like, it's a phenomenal game. So, now let's talk about the other Zelda in the room.
There's only actually 5 Zelda games on GameCube, which also surprised me. I thought there was more, but besides Wind Waker, there's
The Legend of
Zelda.
What are the others?
So there's Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. There's Four Swords Adventures.
Oh yeah.
Right, remake.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time Master Quest, and then Twilight Princess, which I guess we could skip the remakes if you guys don't have anything to say about the remakes.
Always
No,
forget
not really.
Twilight Princess was on the GameCube, and I always forget the remakes.
So we can talk about Twilight Princess. I'm pretty sure we all played the Wii version, but it's still the same game. It's just with a different control scheme. But with Twilight Princess,
mirrored.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Because
Left, right, and right.
I remember people got pissed off because I used to read Nintendo Power. People used to get pissed off because Link is supposed to be left-handed, and then you had to play with his right hand and shit. And people were just like, "Nah, we're not having it. This shit ain't canon."
No, here's the counterpoint. It's a different Link every time. You're gonna think they're all left-handed.
Every single one. But
that's how it was for
every single one
too, because Skyward Sword was a right-handed Link. So because of the motion controls.
They were just on when they did the Wii. They're just like,
Link
fuck it, we don't care.
Hand.
Said let him use it for something other than what the other. Okay, but besides that masturbation joke, what did you guys think about Twilight Princess?
I liked it.
It was just a silence, just like okay.
Because I was waiting for Jay to go first.
I liked it.
You liked it?
It was a Zelda game.
I find that so hilarious to me because it's like when Twilight Princess was coming out, what people don't understand is it was the most hyped up game of all time. It made Breath of the Wild look like small potatoes. When Twilight Princess came out, people were like, this is gonna be the dark Zelda that we fucking wanted.
It's very brown.
You know what I mean? And then it's just like, it came out and people were like, yeah, it's good.
It wasn't good?
It was good, but it wasn't like, it didn't blow people's minds the way people thought it would. And years later, like, it's still not like perceived as like one of the better Zeldas.
Confession for me, I never played Twilight Princess until Wii U when it released in HD.
Fair.
And
fair.
I still haven't finished it, so
I haven't finished it either.
I haven't finished it, so
I have it for Wii, but I never finished it because I liked it, but I didn't like fully put myself into it. But
I enjoyed it, but it's not as good as the other Zeldas in my opinion.
Yeah, it's one of the, for my opinion, it's one of the weaker Zeldas.
Too hard.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Jay.
I feel like they're trying too hard to like capitalize on what people are expecting from the Space World demo. Yeah. And they kind of missed the mark there.
Exactly. Like, I think they really wanted... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, Josh, we touched on this, but we didn't really explain it. The Space World 2000 demo was a tech demo of a really gritty Zelda game, and everyone thought that was going to be the Zelda game on GameCube, but then it turned into Wind Waker. And when you go from gritty Zelda game to Wind Waker, you can obviously expect backlash.
Exactly. So then basically from what happened was after Wind Waker came out, Wind Waker was very scrutinized like upon release, and then Twilight Princess was hyped because that was going to be the game that everybody been wanted since like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. So, you know, we got it, and like personally, it was good. They had some really interesting temples, like the dungeons in that game are like pretty fire. But it's just
I like the Snow Mountain dungeon, whatever it's called, with the Yetis.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh, yeah,
that was pretty cool.
I remember that.
What about what you guys think about Wolf Link as like, you know, your kind of gimmick of the game, or because like every Zelda has like
better in Animal Crossing.
I feel you. I feel you. Nah, like
better.
Okay, this is gonna be even more confusing. But Link turns into a wolf, Sorry, Twilight Princess.
Don't question it. Just accept.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
They don't really explain why.
Is that it for Twilight Princess? Anyone else got any thoughts?
No, I mean, I just, like I said, the aesthetic of it, I felt it's a good aesthetic. Like don't get me wrong, I think it's very good looking.
I had to turn up my brightness.
What? You said turn up the brightness?
I had to turn up my brightness to play it.
Yeah, because it's so fucking
dark,
grim dark, man. It's grim dark.
Yeah.
But like at the same time though, I do like the character designs. I think that like Link, I do have if I can change my thing, I have a Twilight Princess poster up there because I just like the design. But overall, the game, you know, it was okay. It's a pretty good game. Not my favorite Zelda, but
I will say this: Zant is my favorite.
Wait, who?
Oh, Zant is a great villain.
Oh yeah, true.
The main bad guy to Twilight Princess is my favorite.
Also, we have to talk about Midna. Midna was great. Midna's probably my favorite like sidekick character in Zelda. You know, when you have like Navi in them, like I love Midna and everything, like her attitude, everything. She's great. So
I enjoyed her. She was fun. She's definitely better than
like Fi was fucking annoying.
Fi was a mistake.
Very annoying.
Man.
Zelda has a hard time with companion characters of like, hey, do this, listen to me.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Jesus, man.
I believe I just a while back to Maroof. My Skyward review in a sentence is fun, but Fi.
That's great.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So I think we went through Zelda. What's the next?
Real quick, Josh, you can edit this part out if you want. My phone is dying, so I'm gonna go try to clip it on charge right now because it's recording. Let's go to Metroid after this. So we'll talk about Metroid Prime. And then I guess after that, Resident Evil, because I think a lot of people talk about Resident Evil when they talk about GameCube.
True.
This will be the time when I take a nap.
I can talk about Resident Evil. I played it on PlayStation 2.
Like, Resident Evil 4
let me put my phone on charge. Josh, you could start with, since you're the Metroid guy, you're gonna go.
It's funny that I'm the Metroid guy, but at the same time, I still haven't sat down and played it the way I should have. Like I played it like in bits and pieces of each one of them.
Gotten into Metroid.
Oh, you never, not any of them.
No, I've tried a bunch of them. I've tried Z Mission, Fusion, Super, Prime, one of them. I forget which one.
Super is my favorite.
They never really clicked me.
It's one of those games that I feel certain people they love it. Other people it's more like do you like Castlevania or not?
I love Castlevania.
That's interesting because they kind of have similar structure. That's why they have like the whole Metroidvania thing. So So Jay said that he never really played a Metroid. He didn't really like Metroid Prime or like Super Metroid because it wasn't his thing because it was more sci-fi. And Maroof, you never played it like the Metroid Prime. Like, what's your experience with the Metroid series?
I played Metroid Prime, Metroid Prime 2. I never finished either of them. I've beaten Super Metroid. I love Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, Fusion's good.
That's that's my extent of Metroid. I want to play Metroid Prime, but with the rumors of Trilogy coming on Switch just being like a thing forever, I always put it off of buying Metroid Prime. So we'll see what happens.
Well, like for somebody like I said, I don't think I know too. Like I feel like I need to also get Trilogy whenever it comes on Switch, so I could really, really sink my teeth and play it. But I think the thing that people really like about the Metroid Prime games in general is just the feeling of atmosphere, which like I said, that's a running theme in these GameCube games. It's like you feel like you're like a lost bounty hunter inside like a planet, and it's just the exploration of just trying to find and like look for different things. And it's like you don't, there's not a lot of talking in the game. It's more like you're reading stuff and scanning things, and that's how you kind of learn about the world. Like the environment kind of tells the story for you. Okay. And I think that's kind of what makes Metroid interesting and kind of a unique. I'm talking about Prime, but it's kind of in general. You know what I mean? It's very BioShock if you think about it. Right?
Yeah,
like but that was before BioShock. We gotta remember, we have to give it credit because that was before BioShock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, but the thing about Metroid, when you think about it and everything, the big thing is that Metroid used to be like a side scroller. Like it used to be something where like more like a platformer, and they changed it into a first person shooter. So and they call it a first person adventure. So yeah, I think that Metroid Prime is one of like it's unique, and I think it's just one thing that people don't give it enough credit for is that it really did take the 2D Metroid formula and turn it into 3D in such a unique way, just kind of like how they did it with Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time. They did it the same way with Metroid Prime. I think it deserves to be in that category with those two games. I feel
the jump to 3 for Metroid is a bit more dramatic because Mario 64 and Ocarina feel like other games. Metroid regular to Prime is a very jump.
It is a big jump, but you could see like the themes of the series, which is like exploration, the atmosphere, like that feels like they really, really hammered that point home, for me at least.
Yeah, no, I see why Jay's not much of a fan of it, though. It's not for everyone. The aesthetic.
It isn't for everybody, but it's definitely like one of the most tentpole games.
Tell me what is the thing.
What? Oh, you said what game is for everybody? Animal Crossing.
I said tell me what is for everyone.
Animal Crossing is not for me.
I'm joking. Because I know Maroof will never play that game a day in his life, so I always show.
That's a good trip. I love the aesthetic of Animal Crossing. I'm never gonna play it.
So yeah, let's go into Animal Crossing.
In Facebook, 2012. What was it? The fucking Farmville was for everyone.
Oh God.
Everyone
yes.
was
Maroof.
Bro, I gotta add someone to sit after it's over.
That's a good transition to us talking about the original Animal Crossing on Gamecube, which I'm gonna let Jay and Josh go ham on this.
Actually, for the 64.
Yes, it originally was Animal Forest, and then they changed it to Animal Crossing when they localized it.
Okay.
So Animal Forest came out in Japan in 64. It got an enhanced remake on the GameCube, and that's what we got as Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the first Animal Crossing is if you go back to it today, it's very, very different than what they're doing now. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, first of all, just the structure of it, I know that, with Wild World, they had, like, the rolling island, you know what I'm saying? Where, like, you had to do the stylus and then you went over it. It's more like flat. It's like an
and that's kind of
like
what they've been sticking with since.
Exactly. And also you had like with the villagers and stuff like that. The villagers had attitude. They weren't just gonna be like nice and be like, hey, I'm gonna give you stuff. Like you had to earn your shit. If you had a cranky villager, he was gonna be an asshole to you. Period.
just like real life.
Exactly. Now it's an escape where people.
Where have you been? I haven't seen you in 682 months.
Exactly. But then they're like, oh, it's all cool. It's like the next line is like, it's all cool. What's up? You know what I mean? But back then, like, they would really like shit on your life. Like, there's a whole like, I'll probably put it in the comment, like in the
you
in
can
the
look
video.
them up on you. There are compilations everywhere.
Yeah, of them just like destroying the player character, which is just a funny thing for Animal Crossing. That is a game that I think a lot of people come through and try and use to escape now. Like, I wouldn't want to escape to that world. That world was fucked up.
I kind of want to. That sounds fun. Just have villagers on you all day.
Long story short, the harshness made little kids sad.
Yeah, yo, Mr. Rossetti back in the day scared the fuck out of kids.
Oh my god.
Mr. Rossetti was my guy, though. That's a big loss for me. I love Mr. Rossetti. Like,
no.
And let me explain this to Zeke because he doesn't know. All right, so in Animal Crossing back in the day, when you you had to save your game. Like back in the day, it's not no auto save and shit. You had to legit like stop the game and save it. But some kids would just like turn off their system and not save the game. And if that happened and you logged back in, you would see a mole. His name would be Mr. Rossetti because you resetted the game. That's why he's called Rossetti. And he would just legit
he'll be like, hey, don't reset. And
longest
every time you reset, he gets angrier
and angrier and longer and longer.
Wait, hold on. The biggest, longest.
To the point where he'll be, hey, type in this phrase exactly how to say it, or you can't play the game.
Exactly. Like they would legit be like punishing the player in a way, but it's an entertaining way of punishing the player.
Why would they punish the player for not saving the game?
Because they didn't say, because you're supposed to save. Like if you're doing something, you're supposed to follow the rules and shit.
Jay's just like, I don't even fucking know. I love the series, but I don't know.
I mean,
wait, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, what's your one more thing?
On your 50th set, he deletes your save data.
Oh, he does? I never actually did. Damn, that's crazy. I actually never got to that point.
That game was hardcore.
He's like, hey kid, you like resetting? Well, guess what? I can reset too. The screen just goes black. You go back to the title screen and your town is gone.
Wow, that's insane. They could never get away with that kind of shit now. Never.
Bro,
and also,
man.
another thing that they did that was interesting, and then Zeke, I'll let you say what you want, but I just want to put this out there with that they had the NES emulator in the actual game. So you would buy like NES cartridges and shit, and then like play it. So even before we had a virtual console,
you could play PS games.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was so
and
cool.
You just got them in the game for free.
Exactly. They just came with the game. You could play like Mario Brothers in the first Animal Crossing. You know what I mean?
You could
was
play
really cool.
like Donkey Kong, and like I think Zelda was in it too.
Yeah, Zelda was in it too. Yep. Like now we have to pay $9.99 a month to fucking wait, is it $9.99 a month or is it it's $19.99 a year?
I'm on the family and I pay $28.
Yeah, same thing. Family plan for me.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, so
20 a year.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
But other than that though, it was the first one in the series. It was like I would say is more of a it's the start. It's the start, and they kind of took it in a different direction. Now Animal Crossing is more about building. It's more about kind of making your own island, more about customizing than it was before. It was, I think, more about like being in an animal world and like kind of like paying your dues off. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay off this nigga Tom Nook. That's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? You have to know your neighbors and like become like cool with your neighbors, even if they don't like you. You eventually become part of the community. It was more like
you don't
that.
like them.
It's pretty much living in New York. It's living in New York.
Exactly. Yeah. So it really just gave me a feeling like an animal metaphor of just a person from a small town moving into like a bigger city and just having to deal with that. And the games went to a different direction, but I think the first game will always be special to me because it just has a different kind of flavor than any of the other games.
Zeke, you have something to say?
I feel the other the villagers have gotten watered down a lot.
Especially the villagers. The villagers. Like I love. I would say New Horizons is my favorite game of the series, but like I really want them to do some kind of DLC patch where they add more with the villagers. I think it would be fantastic.
Absolutely. I feel the villagers are more competitive than they've ever been.
Ever, yeah. But like there's just so much to do in that game that I still love. It's still like if I had to rank the Animal Crossing games, because I played every single one, I would probably give it the top spot. But yeah.
Did you play Happy Designer, Josh?
Did I? I forgot if I played that one. But it's a spin-off, though, so we don't count that shit.
Zeke, you have something to say?
How hard did you just nut right now, Josh?
He's trying to be on, like, some hardcore Animal Crossing shit, try to test my gangster right there. But, no. Yeah. But I clocked the cutscenes. I know about that,
Okay, so I think that's it for Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it was only one. Yeah, he's just like, yo, I got that shit. Boy,
also
I got this, boy. Newly.
Yeah.
New one.
But anyway.
Yeah, no. Something interesting I saw is that there's only one Kirby game on the GameCube, and that's Air Ride.
I never played Air Ride. I never played it. I wanted to so bad though.
Which is a Kirby racing game, right, Jay?
Yeah, and it's a street racing game too.
And wasn't it made by Sakurai?
Basically,
you
control the entire game with one button.
That's dope.
You accelerate automatically.
Also, it's like
you have one button to brake, use items, all that stuff. And honestly, it hasn't aged that well.
I gotta check it out. Even just as the novelty of the Kirby race, like more racing kind of game, is very interesting. But I just never picked it up when I was younger. But it always looked cool to me. It always did look cool.
Just my just my thought about it that like now we get Kirby games almost fucking like 5 times a year, and there was only one Kirby game on GameCube. It's just insane to me.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
The 3DS had 12.
12. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
12 on 3.
Insane.
So I guess we could move on to Pikmin then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pikmin's a special series, but we'll let Jay. You know, that's one of his favorites. So let him take it away, and then I'll get my thoughts.
Right. After this, we're gonna run through just a couple of quick games because we're running long, and I want to at least keep this an hour. But we'll see what we get.
Pikmin 2 is my favorite GameCube game and one of my favorite video games of all time. 100 of the carrots. Time is limited. You have to retrieve all sorts of miscellaneous stuff depending on what game you're playing, get it all back in a certain amount of time. Bing, bang, boom, go. Oh.
Okay.
And it's hard.
It is very hard. It is one of the hardest games I ever played, honestly.
Pikmin 1 particularly, if you will get the ending on your first play. Period.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the thing about Pikmin is that Pikmin 1 had a time limit of, I think, how many days was it, Jay? I forgot. Fuck.
30.
30 days?
So you were trying to repair a rocket, you had 30 pieces to find across 30 days, and if you didn't get most of them, you would lose.
You definitely, I remember, so I never played Pikmin 1. Jay and I talked about it so many times, but I remember watching videos of people just being so frustrated about Pikmin 1. Pikmin 2 is more so my favorite, just because you don't have that time limit and you can explore.
Oh, nice.
There it is. Yeah. But essentially, yeah.
Pikmin 2 like Zeke is also my favorite because there's a lot more real-world stuff in it.
Oh, yeah. There's so many references to real-world shit.
Yeah, that's one thing I've always loved about the series.
So Pikmin, the world of Pikmin takes place actually on Earth, like a dystopian Earth, where pretty much, I think nuclear war happened and everything was destroyed.
Yeah, I think so.
Right? It's pretty much an RTS.
Right, but it isn't nuclear.
Is it nuclear? I don't know.
What was that game that you had to like roll a ball?
That's
Katamari
Damacy. That was on PlayStation.
Katamari Damacy. That was on PlayStation.
Okay, that shit was mad fun. I don't know why that just popped into my head, but I just remember playing that shit. That shit was
but
fun.
it's I see where it comes from though, because it's like what's the word? Also
it's very strange.
It's very weird. That's the best way for me to say it.
But I love the fact, like, the perspective of that game. You know what I'm saying? It really makes you feel small. You know what I'm saying? And I'm already short, but it makes me even short.
Short nigga, but my dick tall.
But my dick tall. You know what I'm saying? So just the fact that they give you that perspective, the RT.
Hold in your hand a Duracell D battery.
Right, yeah.
Now imagine that towering over you.
Yeah, you're pretty much like the size of this in the game.
A battery. Right?
A D battery.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
and you control like 1 billion of them, right? Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you control 1 billion, and you go around collecting shit from the real world, essentially.
So right off the bat, we have to say that Pikmin is probably one of the most unique series that Nintendo has. That's like, and Miyamoto was like crazy about that shit, yo. Like he was like, this is gonna be. He was gonna be like, this is the next big thing. Like this is like he was so when that game was coming out, he was so passionate about it. What?
If you want to know how much Miyamoto loves Pikmin and how weird of a guy he is, he made that game. that's how you know Miyamoto's weird, that he made Pikmin.
And he made it, and guess what? He made it because of gardening. He was gardening, and he said, "This is what I'm gonna make a game about." Because I like gardening.
Game? What's the objective? What? Like, how do you win the game? What's the objective? Like,
collect
what do you gotta do?
Stuff.
Collect stuff, actually.
Collect stuff, basically.
So in the first game, you're stuck on essentially the destroyed Earth, and you have 30 days to get out of there by collecting parts of your ship. In the second game,
you have to read a deck. You do so by collecting various earthly artifacts.
Yeah. So you're in debt, and you have to collect stuff to sell. That's Pikmin 2.
Pikmin 2, right? Gotcha.
Yeah.
And in Pikmin 3, your planet is on a food crisis, and you need to collect.
Yeah. But Jay, that game didn't come out yet because the Wii U doesn't exist.
Yo, what's a Wii U?
Exactly.
I have my Wii U right here also.
We don't talk about it, goddammit. Hey, take it away. Don't look.
It's dusting up, man.
Fucking 3D World came over here. Pikmin 3 came over. We don't talk about it. It never happened.
Yeah, everything good about the Wii U is on the Switch now.
it's crazy, man. All right, so this is I think one of the last big tempo games, and I have it in my hand right here, and we can't have a GameCube discussion without talking about this one. Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Melee!
The game that people to this day are so fucking crazy over, and want Sakurai to just legit just remake the game. That's how much people love this fucking game.
Real quick,
what did you guys...
Josh, this is going to be controversial. Me and Jay have talked about it before, and Melee was the first Smash Brothers games I played. I like it. I hate the Melee community so much.
Oh, like the whole, like, I know
they're the biggest. They're the biggest try.
Melee is 20 years old.
Yeah. Oh god.
One thing that we gotta say about Melee is a lot of people think that some of the like the mechanics in Melee were just okay, what's the word? Like they think like that was like technique and stuff, but really it was just
they were all
had to make that shit on
it was fucking glitches.
He had to make that shit on a time limit. Out of every Smash that you play, it had the shortest development time out of every single Smash.
So I
think it was like 7 months.
Yeah. So Jay, I'm gonna run through this right now. So everyone knows that like some fighting games, some of the best stuff come from it is glitches. So like combos were created because Street Fighter fucked up with glitches and let you combo certain moves. Melee is praised as the best Smash Bros. Game because of glitches, where a lot of characters' timing is amazing, and just the stuff you can do to break the game in the fight. And people consider it the premier Smash Brothers game because of how you can break the game, which I don't know if I agree with, but it's definitely a fun game. So that's.
But I will say this.
I don't agree with.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jay.
In addition to what Maroof brought up, I don't agree with how, like, 90% of the game doesn't even get shown in the competitive scene.
Mm-hmm.
The competitive scene is made of like 4 characters and like 5 stages.
The 4 most broken characters in the game, essentially.
Yeah, I'm the most casual Smash player in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, like remember they used to have that joke with like Fox, and it was like 4 like Fox on like Battlefield, because that was like one of the few stages that you could play, because there was no like Omega kind of shit where you could change it. So they were like Fox and 4, and that's it, and that's like competitive. And it's like, man,
and again,
if that's how you want to play it.
Falco, Marth, and Jigglypuff are the only characters you will ever see played in Melee.
Yeah, Jigglypuff. He's so broken. Like I love Melee, but like the best thing the community gave us is the wombo combo.
Oh yeah, that's dope. I like watching videos of it.
This is the best thing that Melee gave us, and I still love the Melee games. I think the adventure mode is really fun. I think the characters are fine, even though some of them are more broken than the others. I think the roster is great.
Some of them are broken the way.
Yeah, I think the roster is great. It's just the community kind of killed it for me. And there's a lot of TV shows and a lot of stuff out there where like the community kills the love for what you have in the series. Yeah. And it usually doesn't happen to me, but Melee.
Even aside from community, it's kind of hard to go back to Melee after playing like a more recent Smash game.
I mean,
what I wanted to say, just as a defense, is we're kind of going into Melee and like the flaws of it, just to get more of a positive on the side of it. It's like from the first Smash game to Melee was like a fucking quantum leap. Like nobody expected from that to that. Like we thought it was gonna be like a little bit more. That was huge. And in 7 months, the fact that they were able to do all of that in 7 months is incredible. Incredible.
Imagine Bungie making a new Halo game in 7 months. That's just not possible.
Exactly. So it's like you have to give them credit with that. And also, one thing that I feel like it was the last time, because like Brawl, I have a soft spot for Brawl. Brawl is probably the most hyped I've ever been about a game, ever. Like to this day, I've never been more hyped with Brawl. Going to the fucking dojo, seeing Sonic get released and shit. I was in the hospital that day.
Every morning at 6 a.m.
Every single morning, bro. Every single morning, right? But when Brawl came out, like people had some some real criticisms of it. Like Brawl was actually a bit more sluggish. even when I play it today, it's like it's kind of floaty, it's kind of sluggish. It just doesn't. I'm kind of. Yeah. It's way more than a bit actually, but yeah, it's not that fun to play compared to Melee. Melee is just like snappy. It's quick. I love just playing it. It feels good in the hand. Pause. So yeah.
Anything else about Melee?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, cause yeah, like after that, after you have.
I have a comment about Melee.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jay.
It corrupted my memory card more than any game.
True.
Really?
Well, yeah. What was it about that game that fucks up your memory? Because it fucked up at least like 2 of my memory cards too. I don't know what it is about that game. Still got it here though. It's like I can't sell it. But no, I think that, you know, it did a lot of things. It took everything from the Smash 64 to the next level, and I think for a while you had Brawl, and Brawl, like I said, had some really big criticisms where people didn't like it. 4, I think, is when people kind of were like, okay, like we can kind of put something up there with Melee and shit, and we can kind of exist with both worlds. But then after that, you know, with Ultimate, it is kind of hard to go back for me to go back to Melee, because it's just, you have so many more characters and every single character came back. So it's like, you know, for me,
I just streamline better in Ultimate. Like if you go to play Ultimate for like a few days and then turn on Melee, it's gonna feel really broken to you.
True, 100%.
Everything's gonna move too fast. Everything's gonna be way too tight, and it's just not like it's just not what Smash is anymore. Unfortunately.
Yeah. But I just feel like it has this like nostalgia to it though, and like I know that's just like it's a cheap cop out, but something about Melee, like I put it onto my my iPad because I got Dolphin on here, so I've been just like replaying some old games. Something about like the theme and just like how it looks on it, like the graphical style, everything, it feels good. Like with Ultimate, I like Ultimate, but I don't like pick it up the way I used to pick up Melee. I don't know if it was because I was a kid back then, but I used to play hours on hours and hours and hours on Melee. You know what I mean? I can't do that anymore.
Who left their Gamecube on to unlock you?
Yes.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yep. Man, Mewtwo. That was when I actually.
For those of you who know, video games to unlock Mewtwo, you have 20 hours of time. So what everyone did was just leave their Gamecube on overnight.
Yeah. I had to sneak that shit because my parents wouldn't let me like just keep the TV on like that back in the day. So I was like, shh, put that in.
That's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb. Like you expect kids to keep the GameCube on for 20 hours just to get one character.
What I did was, because me and my brother had controllers, obviously, so we would just put on 2 human characters, 1 stock, just not do anything.
That's hilarious.
Go to sleep, wake up next day, bing bang new character.
Boom, you got that fucking
your parents' electricity bill must have been fucking insane.
Yeah, just like, exactly. That's what my parents were trying to do with me. They were like, nah, you can't do that, boy.
What'd your parents TV? Get up overnight or something?
So now let's oh, what?
Zeke said something?
How do you unlock that character?
Oh, like you literally just have to have the system up for 20 hours. Like you could play, or if you don't want to play, you just want to leave the system on, you'll still unlock it.
You have to have it on for 20 hours straight. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I guess the really we have 2 more franchises I can think of on the top of my head, which are Pokemon. So let's run that real quick. We had 2 games on there: Coliseum, XD, and Channel. Which Channel was bullshit. I can tell you right there. That was a waste of $15.
Wait! You're talking about My Pokemon Ranch.
No, My Pokemon Ranch was on Wii. I'm talking about this game that I still fucking have, Pokemon Channel.
What's the other one though? It's like Ruby and Sapphire something.
Pokemon Box.
Pokemon Box, but
it was just essentially a giant box for Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah, but then you had Pokemon. The 2 main games though that everyone really remembers is Coliseum and XD. I never played Coliseum. Have you guys?
Yes, Coliseum I loved. XD was probably the game I played the most on the game as a kid.
I had XD. I loved XD.
I used to play XD. I think once a year I finished.
So the GameCube had Shadow on it.
Nice.
Yeah. And one thing that I really loved about those games is they really gave you that taste of like what we really wanted from a Pokemon game. Because around that time, you know, you had the Game Boy Advance games, which were really good, but we all dreamed about like having a 3D. Yeah, we wanted a 3D Pokemon game, and the fact is, like, it wasn't a traditional Pokemon game, but it still gave us like that feeling of like, okay, this is a big console Pokemon game. I can't even think of another game that's like that. Game. Yeah, like I can't even think of another game.
Checked off all the box, I think.
Yeah, I can't think of another game that's like as big as that game. When I like, you know what I mean, like graphical wise and like with like the adventure, because like when they started doing stuff like on the Wii, the spin-offs were more like, you know, okay, we're like like as you said, My Pokemon Ranch, like they weren't like big things, like big adventures.
Josh became South.
Pokemon adventures. but yeah, they didn't feel like adventures. They were just more like spin-offs. But that actually felt like a big adventure game. So I always appreciated that, and always felt like they should do that more often, because like we're gonna have a whole Pokemon conversation. That's gonna be its own topic. But it's just the fact is Pokemon I feel can expand. Oh, what? Oh, you said you want to be there?
I would like to be in the conversation as well.
Oh, hell yeah, come true. Yeah, we're definitely. But how I feel is just like, I feel like Pokemon could definitely expand and become like, it is already the #1 media franchise in the world, but still it could get bigger, and it could hit the things that the fans want the most. And I feel like they just downsized it, but that game was like a taste of like the Pokemon game that I've always wanted, which is like a 3D environment, and not like on some like Sun and Moon kind of cell shaded stuff, but really like pushing the boundaries of the technology. And I enjoyed it a lot.
Nice.
That's one thing the Cube did a lot. It pushed the system to its limits.
It actually was one of the more out of like the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox, it had the strongest hardware. So it's kind of funny that they legit just were like with the Wii, they were like, "Yo, let's just reuse this hardware."
There's so many games that look better than Wii games. I swear.
But it's funny because it's legit the same hardware. You know what I'm saying? Like the original Wii could run GameCube games. So yeah, so it's like it's the same shit.
Is it really?
Yeah,
it's the exact same hardware.
It's the GameCube had an GameCube taped together.
They used to always make that joke. 2 GameCubes taped together. And I guess lastly, because I can't really think unless you guys could think of any more. Unless you guys could think of any.
GameCubes taped together.
They used to always make that joke. 2 GameCubes taped together. And I guess lastly, because I can't really think unless you guys could think of any. There was that one Fire Emblem game. I don't know if you guys played it. Path of Radiance.
No, I didn't play it.
I didn't play it either. I do love Ike though. Actually, there was two Fire Emblem games, I think. Was there two?
Because I have a list.
Radiant Dawn came out.
That was on the Wii? Oh, okay.
Because of the list, I wanted to like.
I'm pretty sure that was the one on Wii.
So none of us played that Fire Emblem game, but Ike is a dope character, and I definitely.
Because we can't think of like any more games to talk about. The list, I was gonna go through them, and then we'll give a quick thought of like what we think real quick of the game, or if we have nothing to say, we'll just have nothing to say right there. But I do want to keep it quick. I want to keep it quick.
So speed round basically.
Yeah, speed round.
All right, let's do it.
Kind of running along, and we can always do a part two.
So before we start the speed, I have a confession to make. At the time, GameCube, I didn't have a lot of money.
Oh, same problem.
So my GameCube catalog is not very big.
I didn't have that much either, but just whatever comes to mind, if you can think of it. If not, we'll just go to the next game.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna run through the list, and we can start again. So Josh was talking about what were you saying, Josh?
I was talking about Fire Emblem, but like I don't think any of us played it.
So I'll skip that when we get to that. But real quick, I'm gonna run through the list, see if there's anything interesting on here to talk about real quick. There's the first few FIFA games are on here apparently. 2002 FIFA World Cup, 2006 FIFA World Cup. I'm not a FIFA guy. You guys?
I'm not a sports guy at all. So besides, unless it has Mario in the title.
Sorry.
We'll go one at a time. Go ahead, Zeke.
Yeah. No, I'm not big on sports, but I've been playing NBA 2K recently. That's like my thing now.
NBA 2Ks are fun. They're fun.
Yeah. But
Jay, I know you're not a FIFA guy, so.
Yeah.
Nope. I'd rather play real soccer.
Thanks.
Next up, there was an Avatar: The Last Airbender game. I haven't played that on GameCube. Which,
that sounds like a good idea, but I feel like you probably fucked it up.
It was made by THQ, so.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We should do for next time. We should do like a sequence, right? So when someone asks the questions, we should do like number order. So like Josh go first, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. It's the first time. It's our first time with the guests.
No, exactly. Yeah, so no one cuts each other next time. That's when I just cut this out, But for next time, because there was a lot of cutting.
Here's a good one. Beyond Good and Evil. I really like that game.
Yeah.
I never finished it.
Okay.
But I liked it.
I've heard of it. I've never played it.
I've heard of it too, but I haven't played it yet.
Zeke, have you played it?
Beyond. No, I'm excited for the second one though. That shit looks fire.
Yeah.
Man.
It's an adventure game. It's essentially a Zelda mixed with like one of those like old school RPG adventure games.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way I can describe it. It's a very fun game. I never finished it, so the second one I'm really interested in. Bomberman. Anyone play Bomberman Generation?
Nah.
Generation.
I played the
It's like we just exposing
Bomberman.
ourselves right now.
I actually played the shit ton of Bomberman, man. That shit was.
One second, guys. We're back.
What was the one on PS1? It's the one I played.
On PS1, Bomberman.
Wasn't there a Bomberman on the PSP too? I think I played.
Yeah,
That's the only
Probably.
one that I played.
I think every system got a Bomberman at some point.
Yeah, pretty much for the most part. I think.
Yeah, it's actually one of the first games on the Switch. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's so good. I think everything except Xbox got a Bomberman. I'm pretty sure Xbox did it. Did it get Bomberman? I don't know.
That's a nice floor, Maroof.
Oh yeah. He'll be back.
Are those board games? I love board games.
Me too, man. There's this nice place in Brooklyn called Sip and Play.
I can hear it. I can see it. If
That's
I
amazing.
try hard, I might be even able to sell it.
Is it for real? It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
So, when
okay.
you hold the
I
Z
guess we'll
button,
continue from where I left off. Yep. All right. You
I
guys
think
good?
the last thing you said was Bomberman.
Yeah, Bomberman. So Call of Duty 2 was on the GameCube apparently, which is weird to me.
I
Hey,
think at that point-
if we're going in alphabetical order, why was FIFA at the top?
Huh? Why was what at the top?
If we're going in alphabetical order, why was FIFA the first one?
Because 2002, like the number was first. 2002. Yeah. TV Robo, Josh.
That's one of my favorite games ever. One of my favorite. Okay, hold up. I'm about to geek the fuck out. Chibi Robo, in my opinion, is one of the best games of all time. The first Chibi Robo. And I feel like people might disagree with me and everything, but the way that it tells the story, though, like the emotions behind it and shit like that, it's such a great game. And it's also like it gives me like a Toy Story feel. Like even when I play Toy Story in Kingdom Hearts or the Toy Story games back in the day, it never gave me the feeling of being a toy as much as Chibi Robo did. It really made me feel like I was there to protect and like help this family out. And it's like you get to see like this family, and you get to see not only what the family does, like their secret problems, because it really gets into like some really harsh topics like divorce, and it's a darker game than it looks. And then also you get to see all the toys that
It's
the
also
kids
very similar to Pikmin, how you're tiny.
Yeah, you're very tiny, and also you get to play, you get all the toys and stuff like that, like the kids.
Tiny in a very life-sized place.
Exactly.
It's a very cute little chibi thing.
Yeah, but I love it because it just because even though like Windmaker, just because it was cute, it had a lot of mature themes, and it was like you got to what's the word? You like the toys that the kid had. Jenny was the name of the kid. She came to life. And they all came to life, and you got to like interact and like help them out. It was almost in a way kind of like Majora's Mask in a way, where it was like there was like a system of like day and night, and it's like you had to help certain people out and things like that. It was
like
so
particular different. Times you had to like be in a certain spot to like meet.
Yeah,
people.
exactly. I love that game so much. It was a struggle.
I can say
sell it.
I can say one thing that game is expensive as shit.
It is.
It's expensive.
I got $200 off.
Yes, it is.
It is expensive as fuck, man. Next up.
Yep.
one of my favorite games on the GameCube, even though I know it's not good at all. Crash Bandicoot: Wrath of Cortex, just because I love Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, yeah, I slept on Crash after the first 3.
It's a fun game. It's very much the same as 3.
I mean,
with a new code paint.
If you were playing Wrath of Cortex, your first screen was loading screen. Yeah. And I can't blame you for falling asleep on that. It lasts like half an hour.
It's such a long loading screen, man.
All Crash games are pretty fun for the most part. At least.
Yeah, they're really fun. Crash. I'm really excited for Crash 4. Crash 4.
Me too, man. I'm definitely getting that for sure. I'm excited.
I will be.
But I was thinking about wait. Wrath of Cortex is Crash 3, right?
No, Wrath of Cortex is technically Crash 4 before Crash 4 was announced.
Yeah, because I know they made
made by Naughty Dog.
They made some weird games like Crash, like Twin Sanity and shit that people never even talk about, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
That's because Naughty Dog gave up the license. They sold it, and Vicarious Visions made the rest. That's why it's very different.
Actually, that's not true. Crash had different developers every couple of years.
Well, yeah, but Vicarious Visions were the guys who made Wrath of Cortex. They're the guys who made Wrath of Cortex.
I think that was Traveler's Tales.
Maybe. Next up is Digimon World 4, I think, which Jay probably is familiar with.
I've actually never played 4. 4 is when the series got. I watched Joe play. Joe's my brother. That's when things started to get weird. It's like the Digimon RPGs didn't really know what they want to do, so they were experimenting a lot, trying to figure out what worked, what didn't. 4 was something that didn't.
I'm not too experienced with Digimon RPGs.
Yeah, I never played it at all.
Me neither. But I always praise game companies that try new things. That's always
yeah.
The Digimon World series is pretty fun. I just haven't gone into it too much.
If you guys are looking for a good RPG to play, I have to recommend Digimon Cyber Sleuth.
I've heard good stuff about Cyber Sleuth.
What system is that on?
PS4 and Switch, I believe. If you get it on Switch, it also comes bundled with the sequel.
So that's good. That's a good deal.
It's been a while since I've been into Digimon. Yeah. I gotta check it out.
Donkey Kong Jungle Beat.
That game was so.
The game with the fucking drums.
That was the quirky.
I didn't play much of Jungle Beat, but I did play a ton of Donkey Konga.
Donkey Konga was really my next thing I'm talking about. Donkey Konga 1, 2, and 3, which is all controlled by those fucking Donkey Konga drums, they're amazing.
I mean, like I said, it's GameCube was the type of system where they did really big risks. Like one thing that we really didn't even talk about is like, you know how they had the game. Remember when you had like the Game Boy player?
Oh, we're definitely doing a part 2.
We're gonna do a part 2, and we're gonna mainly just talk about like the accessories and just like because we practically ran through most of the game.
Those bongos are so famous. People are playing Dark Souls with them.
Yeah,
right?
For real.
Somebody beat Dark Souls with those fucking bongos. It's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. So one of my my introductions to Dragon Ball Z, it was Dragon Ball Z Budokai. So Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1 and 2 were on the GameCube.
Yep.
They were fantastic.
But I got I got this baby right here in the PS2.
Budokai.
Yeah. Budokai 3 is fantastic. That's fantastic.
That was my favorite one. That was
such a good game, man. And I'm not even that big on Dragon Ball. I really don't know that much, but that was my introduction to Dragon Ball in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Budokai 1 was my introduction.
I don't think it's much of a surprise to say that I like Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Y'all we need to do a Dragon Ball episode and you guys just like school me on like what happened throughout the entire series. Like I would just like sit there and listen.
I would have to on that my brother because anyone who knows everything about Dragon Ball.
Another one that I really enjoyed, even though it's such an obscure game, Ed and Eddie Misadventures, because I'm an Ed and Eddie fanboy.
Miss Ed Adventures?
Miss Ed Adventures. I had
that sitting there?
I cannot find the case. I had the case somewhere.
It's always on me. Always.
At all times. You never know when you just need to whip
it. When I hit the club.
Hey, yo, man, you want to come through? We can play some Ed and Eddie.
The last time we got an F-Zero game, F-Zero GX.
Oh, I had that right here. Oh, no. He was bringing up games that I had in perfect order, too.
In perfect order.
You came prepared, man.
I came prepared. Yeah, Josh came prepared. I wish I had more of my bases, man.
I sold, like, my really good games, though. Like, I'm a trader. I'm a fucking GameCube trader. But I got paid the fuck out though. I got like
money, motherfucker.
off my best GameCube games. I got like around 350. I'm like, bro,
you got 350 for one game?
For like around like 4 games.
Oh, that's fucking
still a nice chunk of change.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, GameCube games are, man, they sell great these days.
That's insane, bro. I wish I kept all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. If I kept
the main reason for that is that like none of them have been re-released.
Yeah, very much.
I finessed it though because Sunshine, I did it right before they re-released it. So because that was one of the games that I sold for like I think around $80, $90. So yeah, I finessed that shit.
I'm pretty sure aside from Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion, none of them have been remade at all.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and Wind Waker.
The Zelda games, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Zelda, bro. Zelda's fucking.
Not thinking about it, there are a couple, yeah, but not many.
All right,
True.
Continuing on, we have Harvest Moon, which I never played any of the Harvest Moon games.
That always sounded like a good game.
Which one is that?
This one is.
I think that's the one I played.
A Wonderful Life, Another Wonderful Life, and Magical Melody. So there's 3 games on there.
A Wonderful Life was the one I played, the first one.
Okay.
It was interesting. It's kind of sort of like Animal Crossing, but not really.
Yeah, no, I see. That's why I'm kind of a little interested in it, but I never got to play it.
So a game that I kind of like, even though most people probably won't, Killer 7. It was made by Suda. One of my favorite developers, Suda Goichi, Suda51, who did No More Heroes, one of my favorite game series. But Killer 7 was kind of his like coming out party, where like it was a game that everyone was talking about. Not for the best of reasons most of the time, but it was a game I enjoyed, and I love Suda.
I really like the fact that it was one of the more mature games on the GameCube, where like everyone could easily see, okay, like this has fucking blood and guts, so fuck you for saying that it's like a kiddie console. You know what I mean?
Maybe the GameCube's not for kids after all.
Exactly. Like I swear we got so much of that back in that era. It was terrible.
No More Heroes was a GameCube game, right?
No, it was on Wii.
No More Heroes came out on the Wii. This is sort of like the spiritual.
But definitely, if you want the premiere,
No More Heroes.
It's No More Heroes. There you go. No More
Get this shit. It's so good. If you want to do it, if you want to borrow it, just let me know. I'll let you.
I got you.
It just sits here getting dust.
I fucking love that game, man. I play a shit ton of it.
It's fantastic, man. I love No More Heroes.
Couldn't click with it. The humor's not my style.
That's fine. It's definitely not for everyone.
It's not for everybody.
It's one of my favorite games. A bunch of Madden games were on the GameCube, which I'm surprised.
That's that shit.
No, wait. Hey, all.
Medal of Honor. There was a bunch of Medal of Honor games on the GameCube, which also surprised me.
No wonder.
Never played any of those either.
Mega Man X Collection.
I played Medal of Honor on the Wii for about 2 hours.
Mega Man X Collection. I think it was the first time the Mega Man X series was in a collection at all, and it was Mega Man X. So
that's dope. I never played it on the actual GameCube though, but I played those games.
Mortal Kombat. Mega Man X is great. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance and Mortal Kombat Deception. I guess they're the black sheep of Mortal Kombat, kind of, those 2 games.
Yeah, I've never played either.
I played Dead Alliance, I think.
Mortal Kombat's not my cup of tea.
A bunch of Naruto games are on here, which I expected.
I remember some of the Naruto games. I didn't play them too much. But...
NBA Live and NBA Street, so a lot of sports games that I honestly weren't expecting on the GameCube, but they were there.
NBA Live was actually really fun.
A ton of sports games.
There's a bunch of NFL. Need for Speed Underground was really fun. I remember playing that.
Yeah, that was a fun game. I remember just playing it at a friend's house.
Do you guys remember the commercials for Nicktoons Unite?
Oh, dude! Like I said, they have to make a new
Nicktoons Unite, Jake.
No.
It was like a game where you played with SpongeBob, Timmy Turner, Danny Phantom, and I think Zim.
I'm familiar with the Nick games. I was kind of phasing away from them at that point in my life.
No, I see what you're saying.
A bunch of One Piece games are on there. One Piece Grand Adventure is actually really fun. I'd enjoy it. It's kind of more like an RPG, but it's definitely a Wii game. It was on GameCube and then it was ported to the Wii. But it's a fun game.
They played it on the Wii. The Wii had a lot of One Piece games too.
Yeah, they probably ported a lot of One Piece games from the game.
Yeah, like I said, it's the same hardware, so it was pretty easy. You just had to change the controllers.
This game was fun. I remember borrowing this from a friend of mine and playing it. Pac-Man World. Pac-Man World.
Oh, I think I had that.
Those games were fun.
Oh, I love Pac-Man World too.
Yeah, they were really fun games. Phantasy Star Online.
So, I have a secret about Pac-Man World 2.
What?
My disc to Pac-Man World 2 is jammed in my son's Wii.
Oh, shit.
I thought for a second you were gonna say my dick. I don't know why.
His head is jammed in my asshole.
No. Yo, before we continue,
I'm
gonna head out and like a little bit.
Yeah, my cousin had to get a new Wii because oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Damn.
Rayman 3 was on GameCube. And then we get to the Resident Evil games, which everyone like. Resident Evil 4 was a GameCube game to me. It was played probably more on GameCube, and just in general, it was fun.
I know what game we're approaching if we're going in alphabetical order, and I'm just gonna say it now. It's gonna come up, and I'm gonna comment that I hate it with every fiber of my being.
Oh God, I don't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah, you can just say it. Go ahead.
It's coming up. You can keep going down the list.
Okay, so next up, I got Robotech Battlecry, which I remember playing as a kid. It was fun. I never finished it because I was 8 playing a Robotech game. Scooby-Doo games, which it is what it is.
Is it Night of the Hundred Frights? That one was fun.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh God. Hell no.
That was
hell to the no, hell to the no.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
It could have been better, that game. It had potential, I think. It was edgy as hell.
It was way too edgy.
Potential, I don't know. We'll have a Sonic conversation because that's gonna last an hour.
Definitely.
I hate
probably my favorite licensed game on the GameCube: The Simpsons Hit and Run and Simpsons Road Rage. The Simpsons games were so fun on the GameCube. Road Rage and Hit and Run were so fun.
Yeah.
They're Grand Theft Auto mixed with The Simpsons. They're fantastic.
Yeah, definitely an interesting.
And Road Rage is Crazy Taxi. I love Crazy Taxi.
The Sims.
The Sims?
The Sims. Yeah, The Sims.
I like it, but I prefer it on the computer than the GameCube.
Yeah, the console Sims are always kind of more missed than hit.
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure DX, Sonic Adventure 2.
Those are the best Sonics, man.
You gotta love those.
That
was the first time I ever played them through the GameCube version, so I never had a Dreamcast.
Sonic Adventures are the best Sonics there is, man. You go fight me.
I agree. Sonic Adventure 2 is probably.
Yeah, there's no fighting. Everyone loves those games. Those games are fucking phenomenal.
You're right. SpongeBob SquarePants, Down for Bikini Bottom.
That's a classic.
Fun game. Just got
Even though I don't know how it aged up.
So much better.
SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie game, which is also
the GameCube version aged well. The remake did not.
They did not. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. If you're a Spyro fan, it was on GameCube, which is really weird to say.
That's interesting.
You can beat it in 5 minutes.
You can, apparently, from what I hear. Star Wars Rogue Squadron, I heard it was really fun. I haven't played it.
Was Battlefront on there too, or not? Like the original Battle?
Probably.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
it doesn't show it on here. Jedi Knight was on here. Jedi Knight is fun.
Oh, that's cool. Back in the day, I wasn't as big as a Star Wars fan as I am now.
Star Fox.
Was the Clone Wars there too? Because that's one I thought
Star Fox Adventures is fun.
Clone Wars was on there, Jay. Clone Wars was on there.
Yeah, but, I remember playing that one a lot too.
Star Fox Adventures is fun. I don't care what anyone says.
It's one of the because you know what it is. It's because it started out as a game, like its own EP. It was, IP. I just say EP. Like I'm about to drop that album.
Zeke, you have that out?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave like in a minute.
I mean, we're almost done. I just wanna finish.
Yeah, we're towards the end of the list. But if you want to just stay for the list, and then we'll do the other stuff out without you. So.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Let's do that.
But
because after this, I just want to talk about the controller real quick, and then we'll talk about like this new stuff.
Yeah, and then that's it. We're basically done. So all I want to just say about Star Fox Adventure real quick is just it was supposed to be a new rare IP, and it's supposed to be called Dinosaur. I think Dinosaur Planet. And then they ended up.
And then Miyamoto was like, "Hey, that's a fox. You have a fox."
Yeah, exactly. Be like, "Fuck it, we'll
put Star Fox in it."
So yeah, like I said, I think it would have maybe been a little better if they had a new IP. I think like it would have been kind of interesting to see Crystal as like the main character and shit. But I think
Star Fox Command is a riot. I love that game.
Oh yeah, on DS, like
yeah. Next up is Super Monkey Ball.
Oh, that was
Monkey
fun.
Ball.
That's a fun little game.
Tak and the Power of Juju. That feels like such a throwback.
Oh yeah, that was like a Nickelodeon show, right? Wasn't that like Nickelodeon?
That's the one, Maroof.
Really sure. You hate that one?
I despise Monkey Ball.
Oh, you decide.
Monkey Ball.
Oh damn.
Oh, Monkey Ball is the one that you hate. Okay.
Wow, that's interesting. Why do you hate it?
Specifically Super Monkey Ball 2 Banana Blitz.
Do you want to expand on why?
That's interesting.
Have you played them?
I've only played the original.
Yeah, I've only played the original and like barely. It's just like I never really got into it.
Play the GameCube version of Banana Blitz.
You want to check it out?
You'll understand why I hate it.
Actually, another game that recently got re-released, Tony Hawk Pro Skaters, was on GameCube.
Oh, dude, I love Pro Skater. But
specifically, Pro Skater 3, 4, Underground, and Underground 2.
Hell yeah, I love all of those, but I had them on the PlayStation though.
I think you had a lot of Tony Hawk games.
Yeah, there's more I'm not mentioning, but they were just kind of like spin-off games that they had. True Crime. Do you guys remember True Crime? True Crime was really fun.
True Crime was amazing.
I never played it.
Yeah.
True
Crime.
Crime's
It's
I've never even heard of that one.
It's GTA, but you play from it's pretty much a detective essentially.
Freaking True Crime LA was the best one. Like,
LA was on here. Streets of
That's
LA.
kind of interesting.
That's dope.
LA.
It's very fun.
New York was decent, but LA
New York was okay. LA was the one I played.
Yeah, LA was the best one for sure.
Ultimate Spider-Man, which I remember being really fun.
Oh, I really like that game. I feel like it's I don't know how to put it. Like it's not one of the best Spider-Man games because we have the new one and we have the Spider-Man 2, which was one of the best. But I don't know. I have a soft spot for that game. I thought it was cool.
Speaking of soft spots, games I have my soft spot for: Beautiful Joe 1 and 2.
Beautiful Joe
Beautiful
is another game that was like they both had that like cell shaded artwork. I love that.
The comic book style artwork.
Yeah,
WarioWare.
Yes, excellent.
Even though I mainly
And the next thing after WarioWare is even better.
The last games on the list that I feel are important to talk about are the WWE games on there. So WWE Day of Reckoning, WWE Day of Reckoning 2, WrestleMania 18, WrestleMania 19. I thought they were all fun. Obviously, they all had their faults, but I think some of those GameCube wrestling games, which I actually have the cover for, Day of Reckoning right here.
Mm-hmm.
And WrestleMania 19, I also have the cover for. What is it? There it is, 19.
Nice.
I had most of my wrestling games on PS2.
Yeah, PS2, everyone talks about the SmackDown games, but definitely if you get a chance to play Day of Reckoning and Day of Reckoning 2, fantastic games. Their graphics are better than a lot of the PS2 ones. I think that's still like Here Comes the Pain.
Never tried them.
It's fantastic. Yeah, you definitely will try them, Zeke. You'll enjoy them. And no, I think in terms of important gaming games, that's about it, unless you count like a Yu-Gi-Oh game. But no, that's the list.
Yu-Gi-Oh! The False Dawn Kingdom.
And if you guys
another game I literally broke.
And anyone who's watching us, like if we didn't conclude your favorite, just put it in the comments and we'll tell you our thoughts about it then.
We'll definitely do a part 2 where we'll talk about the game.
Now this is a controller.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
It hasn't.
Yeah, I still have mine too.
And I'll stick it up your ass, so it's not real.
The fucking wave birds. Wireless.
I have the original GameCube controller here.
Didn't we talk about the wave birds?
I almost dropped my controller.
That shit has like a full-on ass to it. Like, goddamn, she got a dunk. Like,
it takes 4 AA batteries.
Zeke, you gonna head on now?
Yeah.
All right,
Zeke. So
if you want to follow Zeke, you follow him at All the Time, the band. You can find him on Facebook, Twitter. Not Twitter. Your band doesn't have a Twitter, right?
Yeah, but we don't use it. There's Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook is fine. Hit him up if you want this T-shirt that I'm wearing right now, the All the Time band, and Musical Zeke on Instagram. Zeke, I don't know what we're doing next, but I guess you'll decide it because I think I decided this one and then Josh decided before. So
Yeah.
Your next single topic.
Got you. We'll talk about it in the chat. But it's been fun, boys. Jay, it's been an honor. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, man.
All right. With Zeke, we're getting towards the end. There's not much we want to talk about left, but real quick, we're gonna talk about the remote, the gaming remote, which I still feel is probably the best gaming remote. At least in your
it was
palm.
hella comfortable, man. It's so comfortable. To the
Small
day,
for my monster hands.
It was probably like the triggers being on a spring and just the pressure is amazing.
Yeah,
which is what I'm gonna miss this when we play Mario Sunshine on the Switch.
I was about to say that.
We're not
exactly. The pressure sensitive like triggers that literally changed the game. Like it's hard to play that game on an emulator. So it's such a good. I can't believe we all still have our fucking GameCube controllers.
Yeah, it's insane. But in general, we could talk about just in general the hardware for the GameCube, but like how you guys want to talk about the water graphics are fantastic.
I also wanted to just talk about really quick. Like they had a lot of weird shit. Like they remember the GameCube link cable thing. Like when you play like Zelda.
The one that hooks up.
We never really
Game Boy
talked
Advance.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that Game Boy Advance, like a cute little hat.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck.
Yeah.
Like and it's you had to legit have.
Thing.
Yeah, you had to have like 5. You had to have 4 Game Boy Advances, 4 link cables. Then you had to have the thing that connects it, and then you had to have the GameCube, and then you had to have the game. So like, I don't think anyone actually really got to play that game unless you were rich. I never.
Are you talking about 4 Swords or Crystal Chronicles?
4 Swords.
I think it was both. I think both of those games actually were with GameCube. I mean the Game Boy.
Yeah.
So you had that and the Game Boy Player, which was interesting.
That makes me remember, Maroof, you didn't talk about Tales. And when you were going through your list of games, you know.
Tales
of Symphonia. Oh man, I love Tales of Symphonia.
Somebody's gonna get pissed off in the comments.
Tales of Symphonia, stuff like that.
Tales of Symphonia was like the RPG on GameCube, and everyone played that shit. It was fantastic.
I still haven't played it, so I have to go back and play it. Don't kill me.
Yeah. But no, Tales of Symphonia was fantastic. It was probably the Tales game that really started its popularity here in America.
And then you could play Star Ocean. It's the same thing, but better.
Yeah.
Damn. Damn. The hot takes.
Tales of Sheely was pretty fun too. That's the only other Tales game I played. So.
But yeah, like the Game Boy Player was dope. I'm trying to think about other things about the hardware that was interesting.
Yes. I love that Game Boy Player. I spent so much time with that.
Yeah, I just like playing stuff. Like I think in a way we really have to track that portable and home console to like the Game Boy Player, because they kind of later on did the concept with the Wii U, and now they have it with the Switch, where it's like you can take your portable games and play them on the TV. So
yeah, it was really good. The portable Game Boy screen that was kind of became like a computer screen for a Game Boy. When you hooked it up, I remember that being really interesting. I can't
wasn't that like
right
the e-reader, or did the e-reader with GameCube, or was that just on Game Boy? I know it was on Game Boy Advance. I don't remember if
there were a small handful of GameCube related e-reader stuff, most of which never came out in America.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I remember that.
I think the only thing we got for GameCube was for Animal Crossing.
Yeah, because I remember the Animal Crossing cards. It was interesting that you actually you kind of felt like you had like a little Game Boy Advance version of Animal Crossing. So it was like, that was cool.
Let's be honest, how many memory cards did we run through for GameCube?
I'm about like 2, 3.
For me,
I had my original one that I got at launch, the one that came with Animal Crossing, and a mega one that had like 2,000 blocks of memory on it.
Wow.
So actually, on my GameCube, I actually have 2 of the ones I have right now, and then I had one original one that I think got corrupted like years ago. I don't even remember what corrupted it, but it was probably Melee. It was probably Melee.
Melee was a fucking devil when it came to memory cards, though. Because one of mine's definitely broke.
Yeah. So let's close off the GameCube discussion. One at a time, I guess. Josh, just your overall thoughts about the GameCube.
What can I say? One thing I want to just really stress about the GameCube is that it's innovative, and then it did things with Nintendo that people were scared to do. With like Mario 64, you would think, okay, they're just gonna make another Mario 64. But they were like, nah, bro, let's make him on a fucking tropical island. Make him have a fucking nozzle so he has to spray up paint. You know what I'm saying? Zelda. We thought we were gonna get.
Before we do that, we're gonna make Luigi the star.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Then it's like, or let's just make a game with Luigi and put him in a fucking mansion and have him suck up ghosts and stuff and have it be like an adventure game, no jumping or anything like that. Like that's just like a weird idea, but it works. Pikmin, like as we all went and talked about, like that's such an insane idea, and it still works, and it's such a great game. Another one was like what's it called, Zelda. Like the Wind Waker is so different than all the other Zeldas that came out before it. I feel like
it
the
was
GameCube
so different,
era,
people were angry about it.
Yeah, exactly. But I kind of like that Nintendo. The Nintendo that's like, yo, this may not be what you want, but this is gonna be something that down the road you're gonna understand. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, yeah, even Donkey Kong was because think about it, people were on Donkey Kong 64 and then had to jump to Donkey Konga, and they're like, what the fuck is this? But I think
right,
that
was the next game.
Yeah, so it's like when you really look at the parallels and you look at how they like evolved, it was such a left turn in so many ways, and I think it was so hated at the time because it took so many left turns. But I think now, like, you know, I think more than 10 years, like what, 15 years maybe, 17 years? I don't even know how many years since the GameCube came out. But around that time, it's like now we can look back and we're like, damn, this is actually pretty interesting. I want them to do something interesting with Mario, like Sunshine, instead of giving me the same thing all over again. Like how for a while we were just getting the same like new Super Mario Brothers over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? I like when they take risks and they do stuff that like we don't expect. And yeah, GameCube I think was the #1 era for that.
We can kind of blame the GameCube for that though, because it didn't have its poor sales and poor game sales. Probably the reason why Nintendo stopped trying to be innovative with their games, just started being innovative with their consoles instead.
And it was the last time where they were actually like they had the strongest console, because like as I said, GameCube had the most power out of the console than the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Now, ever since then, Nintendo has had this strategy.
You have to compare like when the Nintendo console comes out compared to Sony and Microsoft. They're usually way sooner. Like the PS5 is just coming. Switch has been out for almost 4 years.
That's true. But they even had like a kind of like a mentality where they're like, we don't want to spend so much on making the console because we feel like if we put enough like gimmicks or like little pieces of innovation in it, then we could still get that money back. Like it's a business strategy that they decided to do after GameCube, and it worked out with them. The DS and the Wii were hugely successful, way more successful than the GameCube were. But
some people
I don't know.
might say too huge.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know what it is, and we're gonna have one day we should have the fucking Wii/3DS, Wii/3D. I said 3DS, Wii/DS conversation, because let's be real, because they were so successful with the Wii DS. That's the reason why we had. That's why we had the Wii U, and that's why we had the 3DS, because they were so successful that they thought they were untouchable. You know what I mean? Like they had to get knocked some sense into them, and now we got the Switch, which is like honestly, I think the Switch is the closest thing that we've had since the GameCube. Honestly, that's how I feel.
It's pretty innovative.
Yeah, it's pretty and like
Maroof,
like
if you listed off every DS game, that will be the whole podcast.
Right.
It really would be. Oh, there's so much. That's why we would at that point we would make a list and we would just stick to that list, because that DS library is crazy. I actually downloaded the entire DS library on my Mac, and that shit, like, and I'm talking about with all the serverware, like I had like Dora the Explorer games and shit on that shit for no reason. That was like around, I don't know, it was like around 400 gigabytes. I was like, holy shit.
Insane.
I don't know why I did that.
I can believe that. The DS had no shortage of games.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that to myself, but I was like, fuck it, I won them all.
Jay, your overall thoughts about the GameCube?
The GameCube is the reason why I got into speedrunning. I'll send Josh the link if he wants it. I actually recently did a speedrun of Pikmin 2. I actually broke a record. Yippee!
Hey, this guy, man. What's up?
Yeah, as I said before, growing up in the GameCube, I didn't have a whole lot of free money. So that meant I didn't have access to new games whenever I wanted to. I would play the games I had over and over and over again to the point where I could beat Luigi's Mansion in 2.5 hours.
Yep.
That's really
overall.
dope.
Yeah, overall, my thoughts are essentially the same as Jay. I didn't buy a lot of new games. I actually borrowed from friends, and I returned. And then the games I did have my own, I played for hours and hours and hours. And I pretty much know Pokemon XD Go Darkness, the back of my hand, essentially. But yeah, no, that's our overall opinion of the game. We could do a second one because there's still a lot we didn't cover about the game. There's plenty of games we can talk about.
Yeah, we'll definitely maybe do a sequel and maybe talk more about the Wii and DS and kind of keep moving on Nintendo bracket. But that's about the lunchbox, man. It was fun. It was a great era. I miss it every day. Yeah.
So I want to go through news real quick, but we're running like long, so we're gonna do this real quick. Thoughts about the Xbox S announcement and the price, Josh?
See, that's why Zeke should have stayed.
Zeke should have
no idea.
Because I think it's fair.
What's the price? I don't follow Microsoft.
What is the difference between both those consoles, by the way?
S is smaller, has I think it's all online. Yeah, it's all online, and I think it's gonna be by online I mean it's all gonna be digital download. There's no disc.
Interesting.
And it's $300, so it's cheaper.
Yeah. If I were to get one, I would definitely get the cheaper one. I'll tell you that.
The one thing I do say, I do like the design better than the original Xbox X. Because the original Xbox X looks like a fucking fridge.
Yeah.
It looks much better. A bunch of random Nintendo Directs that just dropped out of nowhere because Nintendo loves doing that. I guess, Jay, whichever one you want to talk about.
Interesting.
Yeah, I prefer.
Let's talk about
the Mario one. That's the one that just happened.
Yeah, no, let's talk about the Mario one.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Mario one first.
Overall, my thoughts, I think it was a good Direct. 3 All-Stars, amazing.
I'm mad about it, though. There's some problems. There's some serious
probably
problems.
Probably going to skip the 3D All-Stars, and let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
I have all those games already. The collection is $60, and it doesn't even really add anything.
And it doesn't have Galaxy 2. That's some bullshit.
It doesn't have Galaxy 2. It's also limited release. Limited release. That's another problem.
Like,
I probably will end up
the Crash and Spyro trilogies. Do something very similar. Bring back 3 old games, completely rebuild them from the ground up, and release them for $40.
Yeah,
I totally agree. I'm gonna definitely buy 3D All Stars because I just like having my stuff portable, and I like having a lot of my stuff on the Switch. So I'm definitely buying it, and it's limited, so we don't know how long it's gonna be. But chances are they're gonna just put them all as standalones.
I think they said March 31st.
Yeah, but most likely they're gonna put them as standalones.
It's definitely gonna sell for a lot if you get a physical copy.
But the way I see it though is like they could have done so much more. Like I feel like as he said, like with this Crash and Spyro,
why did they give us 64 and not 64 DS?
Yeah, like
right?
exactly. Like that's just like it's no brainers kind of thing. Like just give us DS with the mini games, and the mini games on DS was great. You know what I mean? That was actually the 64 that I played. I never even played the original, so I guess it'll be fun to play the original for the first time. But yeah.
It's okay.
3D World being re-released. That's actually the last game on Wii U that matters, besides Xenoblade Chronicles X for me.
Yeah, 3D World was a game that I never played either. Like
the Wii U, like Jay said before, the Wii U doesn't exist anymore because all the games are on Switch.
It's
all the games worth getting on the Wii U are on Switch, or are coming to Switch in the near future.
The only game that's like that they have now is like terrible, and that's Star Fox Zero, and it's just like.
They got Nintendo Land.
And I enjoy. I still haven't played X. I haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Oh yeah, I forgot X in it. For some reason, I keep thinking X got ported, but it didn't get ported yet.
No, it's gonna happen.
Chronicles 1 did.
But yeah, like 3D World, I never played it on the Wii U, so I'm excited to play it for the first time.
I recommend it. It's a very good game.
Yeah, it's gonna.
It's very fun.
I played.
If you can't play it with multiple people, it's very fun.
I played 3D Land, and I feel
one thing they didn't talk about in that Direct, it's gonna have online multiplayer.
Yeah.
Will,
God, that's gonna be so dope if they do.
It's gonna have online multiplayer.
Yeah,
it's a major selling point that they should bring more attention.
Right?
To.
I don't understand why they didn't mention that. It's weird that they didn't, but it will have online.
That makes me feel like it's not gonna be as good as we think it's gonna be. That makes me feel like it's like an underbaked kind of feature, but we'll see. I'm excited with the new Bowser thing that they're like promoting with it.
Oh yeah, the new level.
I'm definitely interested too. And I wouldn't be against buying it day one because I haven't played 3D World in like 6 years.
Yeah, I'm definitely. What about that weird new Mario Kart thing? Like with like the RC car and shit.
I'm not gonna be able to ever play that in my house because there's too many babies running around.
I don't got enough
not
space.
Be able to play that in my house because I have a carpet and a dog.
Yeah, so it's like, it's just one of those quirky Nintendo ideas.
On a carpet, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think none of us
use RC cars with dog. You can't.
Nah.
It's very fun, but it's very much gonna be something that a lot of people like the guys who bought Labo are gonna buy and play.
It's definitely gonna be aimed for like the kid market, like kids who like get toys every Christmas. I think that would be a great gift for them and shit. Mm-hmm. And what else? They also put the new Mario 35. Game on the 35 sounds cool. I like what they did with that other game. What was the game? Tetris. They made like that was
Tetris 99. I put so much time into.
Tetris 99 is fun.
Yeah, that's a cool game.
That's also Mario 35 is also gonna be limited, which is weird again.
Wow, yeah.
Here's the thing with Mario 35. If you play Tetris 99 now, you'll know that interest has started to fade. I have a feeling that by the time Mario 35 reaches the point where it's gonna get vaporized, that not that many people will be playing it.
That's true. Those are like they have like little spikes when like they first come out, but then it kind of starts to like slow down as time goes on.
Right. So like from a business standpoint, it makes sense for Nintendo to be like, hey, this game's only gonna be out for a little bit. Play it while it's here, and then it's gonna be gone. See ya. Yeah,
and I think that you're gonna start to see more of that, especially I think what is pissing people off the most about, especially with 3D All Stars, is that the digital thing, like the digital release, is gonna be limited too. And people are like, well, why is a digital release limited?
Yeah, really.
But at the same time, though, I'm like, I kind of understand what they're trying to do because this is gonna be a bundle and it's gonna be $60, but then later on they're gonna charge every game $30, which is gonna be fucking stupid. Like, why would you charge $60 like Mario 64, the original, $30? But they're gonna do it, trust me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. You're absolutely right. And they'll be like, hey, we heard you guys wanted Galaxy 2.
So they're gonna throw that in for like $30, and then it's gonna be like you have to buy, if you want to buy all 4 of them, it's gonna be like $90. So you actually are getting a deal.
It is what it is.
I heard. Now this is just speculation, but I heard that the main reason Galaxy 2 wasn't included was because of the bigger use of motion controls and that the Joy-Cons just weren't really.
I don't know.
Also, you can only play Galaxy with Joy-Cons.
Yeah, that's true. It definitely used motion controls. I haven't played it, but I've watched a lot of gameplay of it. It seemed like it used more.
That a Galaxy can't be played handheld. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, it can.
Galaxy
it can be played.
Must be played with Joy-Con.
No. I heard that you can play it handheld, but like they use the touchscreen. But it's gonna be kind of awkward to do it that way.
Weird.
You can.
Only if you have the Switch Lite.
Oh, so you can't do it.
It's only for the Switch Lite.
All right, I'm gonna check it out.
Weird.
It's very strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
This whole collection is very strange. It feels like they kind of just slapped it together because they felt obligated to.
And it's
because let's be real, everyone and their mother was like, "Oh, we're gonna get the 3D remakes."
I was hyped because I thought we were gonna really get like a real big like 64 remake, like the shit that you see on like Dreams or whatever, where they remake everything in HD, like something like that, but like with Nintendo polish.
Like I said, like look at Spyro, look at Crash, look at all these other remakes from games that have been made and released for less money.
Yeah, it's one of those ideas. Nintendo is just being Nintendo, man, and they're gonna blame it on COVID, but even if it wasn't COVID, I don't think we were gonna get much more. Honestly, it's just how Nintendo operates. And then
I feel like only made the bundle because they felt obligated to.
Yeah. And the next note though, and something that I'm extremely excited for, is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, which is gonna be fucking canon. So it's gonna be a canon prequel to Breath of the Wild, and we're gonna actually experience what's going on like in that 100-year gap in Breath of the Wild. And I am ecstatic. I'm gonna get that game day zero.
As someone who put 1,000 hours into Hyrule Warriors, I'm definitely interested, but I have a major question, I suppose. What's the character roster gonna look like?
I think that they're gonna mainly keep it very simple, and what they could do is like add DLC because what they're trying to do with the story is keep it as canon as possible. But I can see them doing guest stars and stuff like that and make it like non-canon just so they have more fighters. But I think the main campaign will probably just be like Link, Zelda, the champions, probably
the 4 champions, and that's probably it.
I'm trying to think who else could be.
It's not going to be like Hyrule Warriors. You have like 40 characters.
That's true. I mean,
and I feel like with that genre of game, you need a bigger variety of characters.
I still think it's too early to say. I still think it's too early to say. Maybe they'll pull something more out of their ass.
Absolutely.
Well, we do know about the weird Guardian character.
Yeah, the little Guardian guy. Maybe he's a
I think he's probably going to be playable too, and like we'll see as time goes on. But I'm as somebody who cares about the lore and really loves like Breath of the Wild, and felt like the story was good, but I felt like they could have expanded it even more. I'm so happy that we're getting this. I really thought this is really what I think is what the champion. You guys remember the Champions Ballot and like the DLC and shit like that for Breath of the Wild? That's what I thought this was going to be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm so excited that we're getting this.
Also,
and I'm pretty sure.
Another point. Seeing as this is set to be a prequel to Breath of the Wild, we know what happened. Or at least we have a general idea.
It's definitely going to be interesting to play a game where we know that Link loses in the end. So
it's gonna be tragic. It's gonna be very heartbreaking to see all your friends die.
At the end of it, the only one who's alive is Link.
Yeah.
And he's only sort of alive. He's kind of like asleep.
Right. He barely makes it.
Yeah. So and Zelda's pretty much a spirit. She's kind of alive, I guess. You know?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's like
spirits
it's gonna
be ghosts are dead.
She's energy. She comes back.
It's gonna be one of the darkest Zelda games. Period. It's gonna be up there because people gonna be dying like flies. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm excited. I really think this is smart that they're releasing this to kind of placate people for Breath of the Wild 2 because Breath of the Wild 2 is getting
delayed.
It's gonna take a little delay. I guess I don't know if it was. They never started the release date, so we can't really call it a delay. I wouldn't even say it's a delay because I feel like I never thought Breath of the Wild 2 was coming out this year, even before COVID. But now when COVID happened, I was like, you're definitely not getting that game.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Is anyone surprised?
No. But it's definitely good to placate, especially when Aonuma's saying that he wants to bring out a Zelda game once a year, and this. I don't mind that. Just make it different. Like last year, it was
that's a slippery slope.
Remake of
look at Pokemon.
Yeah, but I think they have enough games where they can remake it for at least a little while. You can like remake like the Ages, the Ages games. And do the same thing.
I would love remakes of Ages.
That would be so dope. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like I feel like they have enough, and then we'll see what happens. I just hope they don't run out of steam because Zelda is one of those franchises. It's really not a bad Zelda. You can argue that the DS ones, but I kind of like them too. Like Spirit Tracks wasn't that bad.
Run out of steam, you say?
Oh, you say? Get it?
Yeah, no, that's about it. I think that's about it for news. That's important to talk about. I can't think of it. There's gonna be a PS4 thing. I think in a few days. Reveal maybe. But that's about it.
And I guess the last thing that us three could talk about is to end it all off. We're sad to say, and as you guys probably already knew, but okay. Chadwick Boseman passed away, and it was like that blew my fucking mind. As somebody that is big on MCU, somebody that loves like that character of Black Panther and what he means to like not just the Black community but just the community as a whole, you know, it was painful, man. And I just want to see what you guys feeling about it, what you guys think about it, and you know, just say some good words about him before we end off this podcast.
Once I heard the news, I looked into like the other stuff he did, and he's been around for a long time doing all sorts of roles.
He's done so many iconic roles. A lot of characters of Black history. Like I think he played Jackie Robinson, and he played I can't remember off the top of my head, but I just remember.
Yeah, he played James Brown.
James Brown, there you go. That's what it was.
Thurgood Marshall.
And apparently, like for a lot of those, he was fighting cancer during shooting, which is insane.
That's the
nobody could call that this guy was fighting cancer while he was recording these scenes. He was in amazing shape. He did amazing work. He was always apparently like the brightest guy on set and everything. He was amazing. He's an icon, and Black Panther
absolutely.
Black Panther was one of my favorite superhero movies of the past few years. And I'm not gonna say he could be replaced, but it's gonna be hard to, because he was Black Panther when he played him. So
he really did. He brought the soul to that character.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to.
That's kind of the double edge of the cinema world. He will be replaced.
Unfortunately,
it might not be,
I'm pretty sure he will.
It might not be a good replacement, but it will happen.
I mean, but what they could do is like make Shuri the new Black Panther, and then they technically wouldn't be replacing T'Challa. They could say T'Challa died in between the movies and put Shuri into the world.
That really depends on how long the MCU lasts. Honestly, if the MCU lasts for years and years to come, they could do that.
Well, that's actually kind of similar to something The Simpsons did. If you guys are unaware, the lady who voiced Edna Krabappel passed away from cancer.
Yeah, I read that's why they killed off the character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could totally see them like doing something, because I feel like just to get like some, I don't even think if I was an actor and even if I was super talented, I wouldn't want to go after that, because so many people attach Black Panther to what Chadwick did. And just for me, I just want to say like to Chadwick is like, he really understood the value of you gotta work while you're alive and leave a legacy while you're alive, and not only just to do that, but to help other people while you're doing that. Like the most amazing thing in the world to me was to see him talking about Black Panther and how it like affected those kids who had cancer. And those kids were like, we just want to like stay alive just to see Black Panther, because we're like that moved by it. And he was driven to tears just because he realized like his movie had that much of an impact on them. And I think that knowing that he had that much of an impact,
is really what anyone could ever want to do.
Exactly, and knowing that like he was making a difference and he was really doing things for other people, I think that gave him the strength to do it with his cancer diagnosis that none of us knew about. So like I said, in my opinion, like I didn't even realize how much of a hero this guy is to me. Like I've just been like watching interviews of him and just going back on some of his old stuff, watching his scenes. I rewatched Black Panther, and I'm gonna miss him, man. I'm gonna miss him. I think this one thing that's really sad for me is it's just I really felt like the next level of the MCU, and we can go over this on an MCU episode, but just real quick, I just want to say like I really thought Black Panther was going to be like the Tony Stark of the next saga of the MCU. I really thought he was going to be that one. You know what I'm saying? Especially since Spider-Man in this one is very young and still kind of learning his learning how to be a hero. Black Panther is a hero. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought he was going to be the lead person, and I don't know if we're still going to get that. And Black Panther, for somebody like from the Black community, especially with the year that we've had, you know what I mean? Because we've talked about like BLM and stuff on this channel, but the year that we've had in the Black community, it's a loss on so many levels.
I honestly think tensions are higher than they've ever been.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just like, that's one thing that we had, bro. Like, we had that on, like, when Black Panther came out, people legit wore, like, costumes and stuff like that. Like, I've never seen the Black community so united for just one thing. And it was superhero stuff. So it was so awesome for me just being, like, somebody I consider myself, like, a nerd, a geek, or whatever. Like, to see just so many random people that aren't into comic books just come together for that movie was brilliant. Like, just take me back to 2018, man. Listen, this year fucking sucks.
For real.
But yeah,
2020's been
just
a
rest
wash,
in peace,
man.
Chadwick. We're gonna always remember your contributions to the MCU and to all the other movies that you made. and we'll continue to, you know, review and talk about the movies that you left such an imprint on in your life.
Yeah, and I think that's the best way to end the episode. I couldn't have said it better. Thanks for watching. This is episode 3 for Geek Out. Follow me and Josh in our usual places. Follow Jay with BigSharkGaming on Twitter and on YouTube. Check him out. Jay, what do you have coming up for BigSharkGaming?
Well, I don't know what we got coming up, but we very recently finished Life is Strange, the new Before the Storm campaign, which is like a prequel setting up.
Look at my fucking
the old
face. Game. I love Life is Strange is one of my favorite games of all time. And I'm so mad, and this is something that I want to say because if you guys have been watching since the first episode, I'm mad that I did not put Life is Strange as one of my most influential games. Nick is going to kill me about that. So yes, Life is Strange is definitely on that list.
Absolutely revolutionized that genre.
Love it, bro.
Yeah.
Love it. Got a poster right there. Fucking love Life is Strange, man. So I'm definitely gonna look out for that.
Totally sure. Oh, actually, I do know what's coming up. Monday, I will be streaming Crash 4.
Dope.
Ooh. Nice.
Yeah, because I got my hands on the demo, so tune in for that.
Nice. Josh,
awesome.
We're gonna try to get this episode out before Monday, right?
Wait, before Monday? That's tomorrow, dude. I mean, my editing's gonna be faster, but it ain't gonna be that fast.
This is Jason from the past.
Bitch, I am not no fucking Sonic the Hedgehog, yo. But just to end it off, though, we're super thankful for you guys to keep watching, and we're so happy that we keep on evolving and keep trying.
The Crash stream already happened. It went flawlessly.
it's amazing, bro. We'd like to thank our guest Jay, man. Like, you really brought so much energy and passion to this conversation, and like I said, man, it's just always fun hanging out with you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Like I said, I've been following you guys since fun. Hopefully, you guys will have me again in the near future.
Exactly, man. We're looking forward to
talk about something Super Monkey Ball.
Oh God. I need to know why that game is so bad. Like, I really do.
We'll talk about it one day.
But that's gonna be another conversation because I can see it in his eyes that he has more than an essay's worth to say about it. So.
It's gonna be the cannoli incident all over again.
Yeah. Oh God.
The cannoli incident.
Oh my God.
It wasn't even cannoli.